And before we go there, at what point then did these first visitors leave, and at around what time?
They were around, the discussions were happening around 3 a.m., 3:30, thereabout.
And this is 3 a.m. of which day?
Of 15th morning.
On the 15th August 2022.
2022, yes.
Right. And then at what point do they leave for the next batch that starts at paragraph 23 of your affidavit? Immediately we had the discussions, and having seen our sentiments, they left immediately. The visitors?
The visitors, yes.
Right.
And so then it's now the next morning. Actually, the morning began at midnight, so after midnight. So after around 8 or 9 in the morning is when the chairman gets a call asking him that there are visitors that are going to. He should expect some visitors.
Yes.
And so, true to that, I was informed by the security in charge of the bombers, that there was a team that had arrived. I think they are about 10 a.m. in the morning. And the intention was to meet the chairman.
And did they come?
They came, yes.
And look at paragraph 23. Are those is that the team, the names there, are those the people who arrived in the next group of visitors?
Yes, the ones who came at 10, and they were seated at the office of the in charge of security.
Yes.
Which was within the bombers area, actually not far from the Tally Center.
Yes.
And so he left them in his office, and he's the one who walked to the Tally Center where we were, at our holding room, to inform us that the visitors have arrived.
Then what happened after that?
So the chair, they wanted to see the chair, and so the chair had said that we were going to see them, but we were finalizing some verification process, and we were going to see them at 2 o'clock.
Now, in this verifying process that you are finalizing, was there a dispute at that time as you're doing the verification?
Not that I'm aware of.
So, among the commissioners, everything was...
the commissioners, we did not have any dispute at that time.
As at that time?
Yeah.
Then what happened after that?
And so once we were almost done, the chair had called for a meeting at 2 p.m. And this was a meeting for commissioners. And by that time, our anticipation was that the final results would be printed out. And so he called for a meeting, and we went for the meeting, but the first item on the meeting was to receive the visitors that had come.
So where was this meeting?
The meeting was at the boardroom of the CEO of BOMAS.
So that was within BOMAS of Kenya?
It's within the BOMAS, yes, but in a different building.
Right.
From the Tally Center.
And who was then in that meeting?
All of us. All the commissioners were there.
Did that include Commissioner Irene Masit?
All of them, yes, including her.
Including her. Right, then we flow from paragraph 23 and 24 and 25 and 26. Kindly explain what transpired and what was this meeting all about.
I recall the initial, after we went into the boardroom, and the visitors also joined us in the boardroom. And the starting point was introductions. The visitors introduced themselves.
And these are the names on paragraph 23?
Yes.
Right, go on.
And they were led by Mr. Kihara.
Yes.
So that was the team. I introduced them one by one. There were 4 in total. And he's the only one who spoke. And after introducing them, then he explained to us the reasons for the visitation, and he said they were visiting on behalf of the main committee of NSAC, and he stressed that the committee was, purposely chosen, the composition of it, and to represent various offices. And so after that, then he went on to tell us the reasons for the visitation, and that if we declare that the results to go in one way, as he explained, which was in favor of William Ruto, that the country was going to ban.
That's what you're explaining in paragraph 25?
Paragraph 25.
Yes.
And we were even threatened that, should Kenyans begin to fight each other and blood is spilled, then the blood of those Kenyans will be in our hands.
Yes.
And so...
At that time, did you know the results?
I personally, and almost all of us, personally I didn't know the results up to that time.
Right.
The final computations were done, and the CEO had been asked to finalize the process of printing those results.
All right, let's flow to paragraph 26.
Yeah, and so as an alternative, in the event that we do not announce whoever they wanted us to announce, then the message was that we should have a runoff, or we should ensure there is a runoff.
So they need us to be candid and clear. Did they have a person they wanted you to announce?
Yes.
Who was that?
Honorable Raila.
And in the event you don't announce, did they tell you what should be done?
To do a runoff.
To do a runoff.
Yes.
As at that time, did you have the final tabulation of results?
We did not have any results as of that time.
Let's go then to paragraph 28 and 29.
Yes.
Read briefly and explain.
So the 28, they expected us to take a feedback. Remember, they said they were emissaries.
Yes.
And so they wanted an assurance or a feedback to take back to the committee.
Yes.
I think the assurance they expected was for us to say, yes, we will comply.
Yes.
And that was not forthcoming anyway. And so after they made their remarks, I think the chair now gave the commissioners the opportunity to react.
Was did he act the same way he acted when the first group of visitors, what you're calling senior citizens, had visited?
Yes, each time there were certain visitors and making certain requests, I think the chair has always told us to weigh in and give our views.
Now, these remarks at paragraph 29, were they being made in the presence of these visitors that are listed in paragraph 23? They were being made in their presence?
Yes.
Right. Now, you then explain that their first group of people to make comments were who?
The sitting arrangement was such that we had Kihara. We were like facing each other. We had Kihara, next to him was Ogeto, next to him was Mutiambai, and finally it was Ogola. And then next to them were these other colleagues of mine who were following in that order.
Who are these others?
And these were we had Nyangaya, Masit, Wanderi, and in that order.
All right. Now, I'm very specific to Commissioner Irene Masit because she's the one facing this tribunal. And did she make any comments in the presence of these visitors?
Yes, and I think if you look at the reaction, the statements that I have made there in my affidavit, it says exactly what her reaction was. What
was her reaction?
We need to pay attention to the advice that was given. We have to have a serious, the message needs serious, attention or consideration, and they supported the sentiments of the visitors.
I'm very, very specific to Commissioner Irene Masid. Did she support the sentiments of these visitors?
As I mentioned there, they were all in support of the sentiments, and that includes Commissioner Masid.
Commissioner Masid, you filed your statement on the 13th of December 2022. You recall adopting this affidavit. Are you aware that she has not filed anything to dispute what you're saying?
Not that I'm aware of.
Not that you're aware of.
Yeah.
Now, you then talk about what the commissioner talked about, his oath of office, right? And the legal position. Kindly explain. Was he saying that?
On 30, when it came to my turn to speak,
Yes.
the chair was giving people opportunity to react, is when I stated that the commission had a constitutional mandate to fulfill, and that in declaring the results it will be guided by the same constitution and any relevant laws. So that is my contribution.
So what are you saying when a commissioner says you declare a specific person before final tallying is done?
At the time, as I said earlier, we didn't even know who was the winner. And in any case, the Constitution defines how to announce the winner. So for me, it was not in order for anyone to assert that somebody should be declared a winner.
So in respect to what invitation was made and supported by Commissioner Irene Masid, are you saying, what are you saying in respect to his position within the Constitution?
It was not in order for any commissioner to make any statements regarding supporting any particular candidate, because we didn't know who was the winning candidate.
Right. As commissioners, did the law allow you to announce a winner before the final declared results are with you?
No.
Could you at all attempt to do it?
No.
Right. We go flow from there to paragraph 32.
Yes.
I believe
At this point, the visiting team from, or should I say the representatives of the NSAC team had left.
Yes.
Because I think the chair had concluded that particular matter, and by saying that he was going to uphold the Constitution.
So the chairman said you'll uphold the Constitution of Kenya.
And so that concluded their mission, because if their mission was to announce a particular person, and at that time we didn't know who was the winner, then by saying we will uphold the Constitution, it meant anybody could be the winner, and whoever that would be, whether it is the person they were fronting or otherwise, the chairman said we will uphold the Constitution.
You will uphold the Constitution.
Yes.
Let's go to paragraph 32.
And so when the when the team left, it was around that time that the CEO, who had gone to make printings of the final results, walked in with a bundle of papers.
He walked in where?
Into the boardroom where we were seated.
He was with who?
He was with the director legal, I think, if I'm not wrong. Yes.
Right. Look at paragraph 32.
Yes, the CEO walked in the boardroom with the final results and handed over a copy of the results to each of the commissioners.
So these were the final results after tallying.
These were the final results, which is part of the Form C, the summary statistics by county.
Yes.
Because the actual results contains the Form 34As, results of the polling stations, 46,299 of them. And so it was a voluminous document which he could not print given the limited time for all the 7 commissioners. So he had printed one copy of that document, which is nearly 400 plus pages.
He had one copy?
Yes.
Of nearly 400 pages?
400 plus pages.
Yes.
And then the summary, which actually is part of that 400 pages, 400 plus pages. And the summary is the results by county and gives the overall total for each of the contestants.
So there was a summary for the 47 counties?
Yes.
And what was given, first of all, who was in that boardroom?
Who was?
Who was in that boardroom at that point?
All of us were there.
All of us means all the commissioners?
Remember, the other visitors just walked out, so we were all seated.
You are all the commissioners?
Yes.
So you all got what? A copy of the summary?
A copy of the summary, yes.
And the chairman had the entire bundle?
The entire bundle was available.
Right. Yeah. Now, when I read at your affidavit, you say that Mr. Marjan walked into the boardroom with the final results and handed over a copy of the results to each commissioner.
Yes.
A debate ensued.
Yeah.
Kindly clarify, what was this debate all about, and was it occasioned by the contents of that result?
The debate ensued, I meant in light of what the exiting visitors had told us, and that the results now was finally with us, and there was a winner in the results as per the summary statistics.
So in the results you are given, who was the winner?
William Ruto.
Right.
Yes.
And then after that result was seen, what is this debate that you talked about in your affidavit?
Yes, the debate was that the results was not to the expectation of the other colleagues of ours who had taken a position that the visiting NSAC members had suggested.
So you are saying part of you had expectation?
Yes, part of us had expectation,
is that
I believe.
Part include Commissioner Irene Masit?
Yeah.
And what was that expectation?
The expectation, of course, was a particular candidate other than Ruto to win.
There were only 2 candidates, or main ones. So what was this particular?
Well, we had 4 candidates.
4 candidates. So what was this particular one that they wanted?
The runner-up candidate, as per the final results.
That's Honorable Raila Odinga. Yes. So what was then this debate about?
So the debate now was, having seen the final results and having seen the margin of the results was close in the sense that we had almost 233,211 votes difference between the winner and the runner-up. And so the debate was that these results are too close. Can we force a runoff? That was the debate.
Force a runoff?
Yes.
So what was the Commissioner Irene Masit's position in that debate?
Now, 4 of the commissioners, including Commissioner Masit, they had protested and that the results should be changed in the light of the NSAC delegates' communication.
So that's the changed by who? By you people, the commissioners?
The commissioners to change.
So what you're saying is that Commissioner Irene Masit and others wanted you
to moderate,
usurp the will of the people.
Yes.
And change the results.
Yes.
Yes, let's go on.
That the 2 of them, particularly Masit and Wanderi, are of the view that the results should be pushed towards Arira. So, because it was a close difference in their view.
Did the law allow commissioners of IBC to moderate or do anything to push a runoff?
Absolutely not.
Was there anything within those numbers to allow a runoff?
Absolutely not.
Was there an outright winner as provided by the Constitution?
Yes.
And was that what needed the Commissioner Masit was pushing to be changed?
Yes, alongside others.
All right, now let's go explain then. That is what you're explaining in paragraph 33.
Part 33, yes.
Right.
And the debate that ensued is what transpired in the course of the discussion on how to moderate Some of them suggesting moving the winning numbers of 233, 211 to rejected votes so that, a runoff can ensue. So that is the debate that ensued that had earlier on.
I'm very particular to Commissioner Irene Massi because she's the one facing the tribunal. I need you to tell only what was her position in the debate.
Yes, her position was the position of the other three. That we moderate and ensure that we have a runoff.
Now,
at the very least.
At the very least, right? Is the very least what they call the win-win situation?
Yes.
Paragraph 33, and what do you mean by saying they wanted a win-win situation?
In the sense that there will be another opportunity for the two front runners to square it out, and that the country would be stable in the event that the clear winner is announced. There would be chaos. That was the message that we were brought. And so to avert that chaos and to give an opportunity for us squaring it out second time, that was the win-win.
Right. Now, was there any legal position for you to take any of them to the rejected votes, as you're explaining in the last two lines of paragraph 33?
No.
Sorry?
No, there is no legal position.
There was no legal position. Now, would you say that your position, I'm reading on the last line of paragraph, last two lines, your position?
No, I said I will not be party to any scheme to sabotage the will of the people.
What?
Because these 233, 211 were actually the voices of Kenyans who went to cast their votes. And the people's voices cannot be moderated.
So are you saying some people, and here Commissioner Remas, wanted to sabotage, or what are you saying?
It will look as if there was an intention to sabotage, because if you say, can we force a runoff by putting away those votes in rejected votes, and then it means there is a tie, then that is what it implies.
Okay, then what happened? Let's flow to paragraph 34.
Now the chairman, of course, as usual, he gave opportunity to commissioners to react to the results, and the results reactions is as I described earlier. And when we all made our reactions and contributions, that the chairman came in to say now he will not be part of a discussion to subvert the will of the people of Kenya. And he would declare the winner as per the verified results.
Right.
And,
paragraph 35, float paragraph 35 then.
And so once that was happening, he invited us to come and with him to announce the final results as presented to us.
So to come means you were to walk to...
Yes, we were to go to, remember we were having these discussions in the CEO's boardroom,
yes,
which is a different building.
Yes.
If you know the architecture of the Bomas, it's actually the first building on the left as
yes,
you go in. And the Tally Center was a couple of blocks away.
Yes.
And so we had to walk out of that building into the Tally Center where we were to invite agents.
So the tallying, you were walking in to declare the final results?
Yes.
I want us to watch the clip of what happened as you were walking in, because I think you were the first one leading as you entered, and then I asked the next question. The chair will sit just a few seconds to play the clip as they were walking in. Council, I think you can explain one or two things so that it save on time. As you walked in, was the chairman with you and the CEO?
As we were walking out, the chair was leading. I was following, and then my other colleague, Commissioner Molu, and the CEO also. We all of us walked out together.
Okay, it's here.
With the chair leading, yes.
Let's go back to when they were walking into. We can just pause there. Now, you can see as you're walking in, led by the chair, the other team appears to be elsewhere. And you just told us you were together in a boardroom. Please clarify how did it get to be here and how did it get to have fracas in a national tallying center in general elections in a country like Kenya.
Now, as I mentioned earlier, the chair invited us to walk with him to the tally center where we were doing the verification process. And so we walked out, and as we were walking out, it happened that we were only 4 of us as we were exiting the building. The chair, myself, Commissioner Molu, and the CEO, Marjan. And we were accompanied by, I think, Director Legal and others to exit that building. So as we were exiting, it was obvious to us our colleagues were not coming with us. So they didn't exit that building.
You left them
we left
in the boardroom?
Them in the boardroom.
Okay, let's go ahead.
And so we walked, and this is, I think, less than 100 meters from where we were walking out of and where we were walking to. And so we accessed the tally center at the basement, at the back side. There is an access where we were using to access the tally center. So we entered through the back side of the building, and we went up to the first floor, and we went into the commissioner's holding room. And the commissioner's holding room, we invited agents or presidential candidates. And the reason why we invited them was to give them the summary data, the summary county statistics and the final results, which we all had, and then also to show them the huge document of 400 pages plus, which is now the complete Form C.
Up to there, the 4 that you say were left behind, did they have the summary?
Yes, we were all issued the summary.
So, and you left them with a summary of the results to be declared?
They had the summary results with them.
Did they, in the boardroom, raise a valid issue in respect of the manner they were verified or otherwise, apart from the issue of forcing a runoff?
Apart from asking us to declare the results in one way or the other, there was no other issue that they had raised in the boardroom.
Left them with the results?
We left them with the results. We walked out. They didn't walk out with us. And so we arrived at the tally center. We accessed through the back door. We went upstairs to our holding room, and we invited all agents of the presidential candidates. And we issued each agent with the summary results which we had, and asked them to look at the complete result form, and there was a page for agents to sign.
So what you're saying is before walking here, the agents had the summary of results?
Yes.
Right, go on.
This walking in was actually later. So we went into the holding room, invited agents, 4 of them, explained to them the results have been finalized, and issued them with a result summary.
So these are the agents for the 4
presidential candidates.
So all of them had the summary?
All of them were given the results.
Right, go on.
And they were asked, this is the final Form C copy, which is the 400 pages plus. I can't remember, 460 or 470 pages. And we had asked them, because this is a huge voluminous document, we have not, because we had already issued a notice for announcing the results, we do not have adequate time to print this voluminous document for each one of them. But we had told them we can give them the printed versions plus a soft copy version later, and that they were to look at the printed one and sign the requisite page, because it was a result that originated from the 6 days of the verification, which they should have had the results on their own anyway. So at that point, the other 3 agents for the other 3 candidates viewed the document and they signed.
What you're saying is that what you are giving them is not new, technically.
Not really. The verification was happening for 6 days.
They had the numbers.
They should have had the numbers all along the 6 days.
Right.
So in actual fact, they could only tell us the final figure is correct or not correct.
Because they had the numbers.
Because they are part of the tallying process.
Right. So who signed, who refused to sign?
It's only the agent for Raila Odinga that didn't sign. But he took the summary results and stormed out of the room where we were.
Then what happened?
He wanted to be given days to go through the 400 plus pages document, which we told him there is no legal timeline enabling us to allow him that. And so he stormed out and he went right into the floor where the verification was happening and mobilized people. And so as you have seen, after the other agents had signed, and we had said the results, it's not mandatory for us to wait for him to sign, for us to announce the results. The law allows us, if an agent refuses to sign, to declare the results. So we said we are going to announce the results after the others have signed. And so we now walked out, and as you can see, it's not the chair leading, it's actually me leading the team, walking into the podium.
Yes, and that's when this fracas or this disruption happened, or what?
Because the agent of Raila Odinga, that is Kanchori, had gone out, stormed out with the results. He had gone to mobilize his troops down there, and therefore by the time we were arriving at the podium, they were all on the podium.
All right. Now, when you are at the podium, was Commissioner Irene Masit and 3 others with you?
No.
And at what point did you notice what you're seeing in front of you here there?
When the fracas happened, after we walked to the podium and we sat, we were actually engaged into a kind of an argument by the people who came to the podium, and in the course of those shouting matches, they were trying to shout at us, how can you announce results, you have 1 more day, and all that kind of stuff. So after those shouting, then we saw the table that we were seated behind was being turned on us. So at that point, we had to move back from the table to not to have the table, turning on us. And in the process, there was now a commotion. And so we all ran for safety. The chair was whisked away by most of our securities. And I was also part of the people who were trying to exit that particular podium. And so when we went back into the room, now to see what to do next, when we went back into the holding room, is when we saw them. We saw the split screen.
That's when you noticed the split screen.
Yes.
Now, you recall you had said they had the final results.
Yes.
And Was Commissioner Irene Masit on the other side of the split screen?
Yes, she was. The four of them were together.
Four of them were together.
Yes.
And you are saying they had the results.
They had the results.
Now.
And they didn't raise any issue about the results in the boardroom.
In the boardroom. Yes. Now, from the contents of what they said, and having made it outside the gazetted National Tallying Center, did the law allow that? Or what's your position?
The Bomas Tally Center was gazetted as the National Tally Center. And that any results or any declaration of presidential results has to happen in the gazetted Tally Center. And the fact that they were not at the Tally Center, and the fact that they said whatever they said was clear indication that there were other games at play, which we ourselves were not aware of. In the first place, the distance between the boardroom where we had the meeting and the Tally Center and the time we were called the agents, if you add it cumulatively, I think it wasn't more than about 15, 20 minutes. And so for a podium, for them to have been whisked away from Bomas Tally Center, all through Langata Road or to Serena, to have a podium completely ready, in place, complete with media presence, it looked something that had been prearranged somehow to us.
So your position, it was a prearranged?
Looks like. Because how do you leave Bomas in about 20 minutes and come to a completely set up podium?
And what the statement that Commissioner Irene Masit and the rest made, was that a position of the commissioners? And did you, is it allowed for them to go and challenge the results before they're declared?
They, of course, casted aspersions on the results that the chair was going to announce. And this was contrary to our oath of office.
It's contrary to your oath. What do you say? Why do you say so?
Because we were part of the verification process throughout. If you recall, all of us actually, except me, did announcements of the various results at different stages.
Did that include Commissioner Irene Masit?
Yes.
As she was announcing results after results and all Kenyans saw her, did she challenge what she was herself announcing?
That's why we were all shocked when they started disowning the results in Serena.
Right. Lastly, and I asked, was that a position of the commission, and was it permitted by the regulations or the act that regulates the commission?
The position of the commission was to announce the verified results which was given to us in the boardroom. That is the position of the commission.
That will be all, Mr. Chairman, and I'll hand the witness to Mr. Donald Kipkorir.
Professor, I like the consistency.
My Lord, if I may be allowed to interrupt, I do confirm that the application is before you and the other members of the team have served counsels. I'll be seeking directions whether it can be canvassed to allow me. He has adversely mentioned my plans so that I'll be part of the team, or I know that I'll not be part of the team. Kindly, my Lord. Sorry for that interruption.
You know, Counsel, there must be some factual basis for the application, isn't it?
Yes, that's what I wanted to lay.
Yes, and did you expect that your colleagues would respond, the persons who we are dealing would respond to the facts that you've deposed to? Now, the other thing is that, do we have copies of the application?
Yes, we've given the clerk to present them to you.
Does it work like that? That we, in the course of proceedings, And you are saying you've served my clerk. All of us need to have copies of the application. And have they responded to it, Council?
My Lord, I'm taking the cue from what the chair said. Once we file, and I don't think any of the councils are going to object, because paragraph 18 and 17 mentions Azimio seriously, and I'm only only raising the question of Azimio. It will not prejudice anybody, my Lord. That is a matter for 2 minutes. Unless anybody objects, then you can give directions that we can argue conclusively that matter, and councils will be able to respond. It can be dealt summarily, unless there is an objection from this side, which I don't anticipate. Probably, my Lord, you can put that question to councils to say if they are objecting to Azimio being part of and parcel of these proceedings.
Again, we haven't seen it. Members have not seen that application. But subject to that, what is the position of Mr. Munge?
My Lord, Mr. Chair and members, the Gazette notice was of 6th December 2022. It was then published for the conference, I think on the 9th of December 2022, inviting or anyone with issues to bring. At no point has Azimio or any other party even hinted they want to participate, either as amicus, as interstate parties, or otherwise. At no point. Even as I came this morning, I did not know. I found my good friend, who is now trying to come on record. We greeted each other. He even never mentioned why he's here. And because it's a public session, I didn't even bother. He has put the documents here. I have no time even to read because it will distract. And to me, I thought it's an attempt to distract me. I didn't even look at them. So I don't think I'm able to comment before we finish with today's, because our minds are clear. We have one more witness for today. Then we can look at what he's talking about and see whether to rebut or not. I don't think you would allow us to be ambushed. We don't know who has signed an affidavit, what is happening through this. I think the rightful thing is we finish with the witnesses. We look at the documents they have filed. If we need to rebut, we will file affidavits for rebuttal, and the tribunal will make a reasoned decision. It is too late. The petitioners have all testified. 2 other witnesses or 3 other witnesses have testified. Apart from the petitioners, it's a third. So I don't think it's the right time to distract the hearing.
So I think the question would be, will you be, because he says that you have no objection to them joining, will you be objecting, or will you be saying you have no problem with them joining?
I would rather comment once I read it, because I even don't know what is here.
Mr. Donald.
Mr. Chairman, I have the same question like Peter. I haven't seen the application, so I have no position.
Yeah. So it's you've thrown affidavits at them, the application at them. They are entitled to respond. And until that is done, and a decision is made by members of the tribunal which way, I don't think it would be fair for us to say anything about the application. What is important is that you have filed your application and served. We will make directions on response, which can be done by close of business today. Ms. Donald, close of business today. And together, but on receipt of their response, I would expect that you file submissions, and how long can that take you, filing submissions to the, in support of your application so that they can also respond? Because really you're seeking to join as amicus or just as what? As an interested party or as what? What is the application saying?
As Mio has been mentioned at us.
Okay.
We are only coming after the mentions that are adverse to our plan.
No, what is the application? What is the application saying? Because I haven't seen it.
That is the application that having as Mio party, having been
Adversely mentioned.
Having been adversely mentioned, they have a right to defend themselves, or else they'll be condemned without being heard. That is the only issue. And we could not come in from when the Gazette notice was put across, because Azimio was not a party until it has been mentioned adversely. That is the reason as to why we are coming too late in this proceeding.
And it's being mentioned by Professor?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the first time that Azimio is getting to know that Professor is going to be a witness. It's the first time you're interacting with his affidavits. Is that the position?
There is also a witness that testified called Lagat, but we will not recall that Lagat. We'll put that position to whichever witness that will be on the dock.
So fine. If it becomes necessary to recall the witness to deal with that aspect, after we make a ruling on the question of joining for purposes of cross-examination, then that will be done, okay? But for the time being, respond by close of business today. Whatever submissions you want to file, put them in, exchange, so that tomorrow morning we will see that material. And you see, we must consider it to be able to give you a ruling one way or the other, isn't it?
Much obliged.
Thank you. Are we satisfied with that?
That's fair.
Thank you.
We are satisfied with that. The matter can proceed.
Thank you very much.
Much obliged.
Council, yes.
I don't need the screen, just switch off the screen. Peter, I don't need the screen, seeing the screen there. Professor, so I will get to know you. Just tell me the title of your PhD thesis. What was the title of your PhD?
I don't think it's relevant to my affidavit.
It is very relevant, Professor. I'm done asking the question. You're not a lawyer. Please, ask my question. What is the title of your PhD? Because you're called professor, so I need to know why you're called a professor.
My PhD was on amino acid fermentation in the rumen.
Just repeat again the title of the thesis?
Amino acids, fermentation of amino acids in the rumen.
So what area of study? This biology?
It's rumen microbiology.
Okay. Yes, it's easy. It's not hard, Professor. Last week, you had a press conference. You said you were hiding. Where were you hiding, and from when to when? During the elections period. You told the country you were hiding. I don't know from who.
There has been a lot of insecurity at the Tally Center. As you recall, a number of our staff were abducted at the Tally Center. Many of them are frightened, and there has been a lot of scaring amongst the staff, including ourselves, who were hurt at the Tally Center. And because after announcing the results, we did not know what would happen to any of us, then we decided we were going to go into a safe place as we observed the happening.
My understanding, Prof, was that you were hiding before the results were announced. Are you now saying that you were hiding after the results were announced?
No, we never hid before the results were announced.
Okay.
It was after the results were announced.
Okay, fine. Just give us the layout of Bomas, the various activities being done at Bomas. Where were they? I mean, the tallying center, verification, where the commissioner's holding room, the CEO's office. Just a brief layout of the structure.
When you enter into Bomas, on your left, the huge building that you see there is where the CEO sits of Bomas. And that's where I think the board of Bomas also has a boardroom there, which is the CEO's boardroom. And since we were using Bomas, our CEO was also given an office in that particular building. At the bottom that's on the top floor, but at the bottom of that building is where we had our call center. We had a team of people that were receiving information and making communication with our field staff across the country. So it was our call center. After that, as you move into Bomas, then there is another big building. That is where the verification process was happening. And in that building, the setup was such that on the floor of the building, that's where we had the verification desks, which was being manned by our staff and in the presence of all agents of all presidential candidates. And on the dais, we had different segmentations. We had a section for media. We had a section reserved for our staff, particularly the returning officers. As they come, there was a section reserved for them. We had a section for the presidential candidates and their teams. And we had a section where diplomats and observers could sit.
And the tallying center, where was it?
It's in the Bomas.
Where? What side? How far from there? From the plenary hall of Bomas?
The tally center is at the floor of that building.
Where? In the same place? In the open place? Where was the actual tallying being done? You understand what tallying is?
I told you the tallying was being done on the floor of that building, where the auditorium of that building, in an open environment.
The tallying?
Yes.
So there was no other room where the tallying, there was no other inside room, secure room for doing the tallying?
No.
The technical team of IEBC, or was it, doing the tallying?
All the tallying that was happening on the floor of that building.
Professor, you're under oath. Fine. Give us on 15th of August, the meeting at 3 a.m. when you say 3 people came to see you 3 a.m. In your affidavit, you are mentioning, of course, the 4 commissioners. Is your memory correct? Are you sure Commissioner Nyang'aya was present that day at 3 a.m. in the morning?
As far as I recall, all commissioners were there.
No, I'm asking you. Was Commissioner Nyang'aya present? Because all this, one day we'll know the truth. I'm just asking you. Do you, from your own recollection, do you remember Commissioner Nyang'aya sitting at 3 a.m. with you in that place?
All I can recall is all commissioners were present.
I'm asking you a specific question, Nyang'aya, because at the right time, we'll know where he was, we'll have call logs and everything else where he was. So I'm asking again, do you remember Commissioner Nyang'aya sitting with you at 3 a.m. in the morning? I'm asking Commissioner Nyang'aya, not all commissioners. Was Commissioner Nyang'aya with you at 3 a.m. in the morning? Is it a yes or no, Professor?
And I'm saying, as far as I am recalling, I think he was there.
Okay. That's good. So, are you able to recollect the words that each commissioner said at 3 a.m. after this visit by the visitors?
No, I cannot recollect all of them, other than what I've stated in my affidavit.
Are you sure Commissioner Irene Masit spoke at 3 a.m.? Did you hear what she said? Did she speak?
As far as I recall, what I have heard is what is in my affidavit.
You haven't said anything there, but I'm saying, you're just saying the common position of the four commissioners, but I'm asking you specifically. Did you hear Commissioner Irene Masit speaking at 3 a.m.?
The four commissioners, one of them was Commissioner Irene.
Did you hear Commissioner? You know, let's not be evasive, Professor. You know, we're here to speak the truth, and one day we're not the truth. And I'm asking you, did Commissioner Irene Masit speak at 3 a.m. in the morning?
Yes.
Okay. Did you take minutes, Professor?
No, we didn't take minutes.
Why did you take minutes? These are crucial. You've told us all along those are crucial, big constitutional obligation, assignment, and you didn't have the energy, temerity to do minutes? Or you were too busy
At
to
3
do
a.m.
minutes?
in the morning, which secretariat was there to take minutes?
But you can do minutes, or is manual job?
There were no minutes taken.
When those visitors left at 3 a.m. in the morning, were there 5 visitors from the other side of the political divide waiting to come in at 3 a.m. in the morning?
Not that I recall.
Okay, one day we'll know the names, we'll know who they are. Because it seems you're talking about against one side of the political divide in your entire affidavit. It's a love letter to one side of the political divide. What the next so at this time, 3 a.m. in the morning, you said correctly there were results had not been finalized.
Not yet.
So logically, why would they discuss the things which are not there? Why would you discuss results which you don't know? I want to understand the logic. You don't know the results. How can you say you want to discuss results you don't know?
The results were up in the portal, and anyone had access to that portal, and anybody could have done their own tally. So I have no idea whether that is what they did, and they knew something that we didn't know.
You know, Professor, you've acted consistently and with so much, I don't want to use the word, about the law. So surely, were the results out at 3 a.m.? Did we have the results at 3 a.m.?
I said we didn't have results at that time.
Yes. When you met the security team in the afternoon, did you have the results at that time when the security team came in?
We did not have results at the time we were meeting.
So what results are you moderating? So, you know, it's also, we know we must be logical in our thinking, Professor. And thank God you're a professor. And I believe you understand because logical thinking and cognitive reasoning. So you can't tell us people are discussing results to moderate when there are no results. I just need to understand what results are being moderated when there are no results.
Okay, let me explain.
Yeah.
When the colleagues from NSAC were there, we did not have results. And what I said was, as they were leaving, the CEO walked in with the results. And the moderation happened after the results were received by us.
So, Professor, so what was the message that Kennedy Kiara wanted to take back to whoever sent it, if you don't have the results? So what message will be sent back?
You can only ask him, I don't know.
But it's your affidavit, because you're talking so
The
badly
message
against
he
you.
wanted to take back is compliance with their request.
You want to say they want to sabotage the process, they want to subvert, but I'm asking a logical question. So what do you subvert when you don't know? Something you don't know.
Remember, they have come to tell us if you announce so and so. So it means they anticipated something.
In paragraph 32 of your affidavit, you're saying Mr. Marjan walked in the boardroom with the final results. Mr. Marjan walked the boardroom with the final results and added a copy of the results to each commissioner. Is that your position?
Yeah.
You've told us there was only one copy of the 400 pages. So which copy did he hand of the results did he hand over to each commissioner?
There is a summary which is part of the 400 pages, which gives the breakdown by county.
Aren't you the summary of the results? Either it's in the affidavit of Chebukati or the affidavit of Wanderi. Wanderi's affidavit. No, Wanderi. Just a minute. So, Chair, just on the affidavit of Mr. Wanderi. Sorry. This is volume 2, page 157. Mr. Clark, just give this to Professor. Give him this. Give him this. That's a 3-page document you call the results. You remember that document, which Marjan brought to the boardroom, the commissioner's room. Is that a copy?
Yeah, this is the results by county.
Yeah, this is 3-page.
Yeah.
That's the one that he gave to every commissioner.
Yes.
So again, Professor, did Marjan give every commissioner the 3-page or the 400-page document?
No, 3-page. Not
3-page.
I said there was only one copy.
Yeah,
of
but
the 400 page.
in your affidavit, you're saying at page paragraph 32. You're saying Mr. Marjan walked in the boardroom with final results and added a copy each to each commissioner. So which copy did he hand the commissioner?
This result, which is a summary of the 400 page. And it gives the final result.
Just read again. Just read for the public, page 32. I mean, paragraph 32 of your affidavit. Just read aloud. It's not long one. Read aloud paragraph 32.
After NSAC team had left, the commission secretary, CEO, Mr. Marjan, Hussein Marjan, walked in into the boardroom with the final results and handed over a copy of the results to each commissioner.
These are the results you're talking about.
This is the results that he had distributed to all the commissioners, yes. But there was one hard copy for the entire 400 page.
Professor, in your affidavit, you're saying he handed results, a copy of the results to each commissioner. And I want us to be clear again for the record. This is a 3-page document that was handed to every commissioner.
Yes, the final results I implied was the final tally. And this page gives the final tally for each candidate.
So this is a report that each commissioner was given, yes. And this is a report that the 3-page that the chairman wanted now the commissioners to join him in announcing the results.
Yeah.
The 3-page. They've just been given, what time was it again? Was it 4:20? You remember the time they were given this page?
I think the ANSAC people, we had discussions up to around 3. I think it should have been approaching 4. I can't remember the exact time.
It was about 4. Yeah. My information was it was 4:20.
Around there about.
Okay. So at 4, when were the results, final results announced to the country?
Well, there was commotion and I can't remember. It must have been 6-ish or 5-ish.
So let's say within 2 hours of the final results being given to each commissioner. Results were given to the commissioner about 4:20. Results were announced to the public at about 5, 6.
Around 5-ish, 5 something. I can't remember exactly time.
Timeline of about 2 hours from the time they are given this final
Well,
results.
it can be 2 hours, I think.
Even 3 hours. Even if
no,
it's
it's not even 3 hours. It should be less than that. Yeah.
Less?
Could be less than that because we spent a little time with the agents.
So it's about 1 hour?
And then we went to the podium and that was a fracas.
Okay.
So we had to retreat back into the holding room and then we came out later.
These are the results, the 3-page that Marjan gave to each commissioner. Yes. That you wanted, that the chairman wanted it to be the basis for announcing the results.
I told you the chairman had a copy of the complete result.
One copy.
And the announcement would have been done by county.
So there is one copy, 400, 500 pages.
400 plus 500.
About 500 pages. The chairman wants the commissioners who've been given 3-page document to join him in announcing the results immediately. In fact, he told them they walk the podium to announce the results. They've just been given 3-page by Mr. Marjan. You've told us you were not able to make copies because it is voluminous, it is 500 pages. But you want the commissioners to read 500 pages document and escort the chairman to announce the results of the country.
The document that we were given was a summary of the 400-page document. And therefore, since we were part and parcel of the process of generation of the 400-page document, it was on that basis that we had to look at the summary of the 400-page document, which would have been the basis for the announcements, yes.
You know, my issue is logical. I mean, the human possibility. You've been given a 500-page document at 4:20 or at 4 o'clock by Marjan, who just walked in. And the chairman wants you to join them in going to the podium to announce the country the results. And you haven't gotten time to synthesize 500-page document. Is it possible to do, basically to get a document and walk the podium, you're not being given even like 1 day, 4 hours to read the document? Is it possible to do it? I don't know. How long does it take to go through a 500-page document? Let's read section 39 of the Elections Act. Just let me read 39(1)(c). It's again short, very short, but it's mandatory. Let the country know the sequence of announcing presidential results. And you tell us whether you are faithful to it.
To read C?
Yeah, C.
For purposes of presidential election, the Commission shall electronically transmit in a prescribed form the tabulated results of an election for the president from a polling station to the constituency tally center and to the national tally center. Tally and verify the results received at the national tally center, and C, publish the polling station result forms on an online public portal maintained by the Commission.
You haven't jumped the word prescribed in every paragraph. There's no prescribed format in every of the sections you've read.
I've read what you gave me.
Just give me. So, again in the sequence, there is the prescribed form in the polling station, prescribed form in the constituency tallying center, and the prescribed form in the national tallying center. And then it says, you publish online the results. These are the last results of the national tallying center. And then now the chairman announces the results. The last result is Form 34C. Until now, Professor, have you ever published Form 34C in entirety in the public portal?
To the best of my knowledge,
as of now,
the result was in public portal.
I'm saying until now, as we're speaking now, Professor. If we now log in onto IEBC portal now, Libya, are we going to get Form 34C in entirety as the prescribed form set on the Elections Act?
I cannot speak for the Commission now, but as far as I am aware, the result was uploaded into the portal.
You know, I'm asking a simple answer. The Act says Form 34C in the prescribed format must be published online before the results are announced by the chairman. When were the results published as in the prescribed format on the public portal?
The results were actually published from the portal, because when the verification was happening, it was automatically updating the portal. And the final results from C is part of what was available to the public via the portal.
In the Elections Act, Professor, there is a format which is given, Form 34C. Just 1 minute. Because here we're talking about fidelity to the law, so we must take time. Form 34C, Mr. Chairman, is a prescribed form pursuant to Regulations 87, Sub-Regulation 3, Sub-Regulation B. So 87, 3B. And it sets out the format of the Form 34C, which was published in the portal. And it's very prescriptive. It's very clear on what you give the names. Just let him read the column, what it's, the information is supposed to be Form 34C.
The polling station code, polling station name, registered voters, and then candidates. That's what you have given me here.
So has that ever been published until now on the portal, in that format?
The results that were published in the portal.
In that format?
And now the format you are showing me is Form 34B.
No, see.
The one that...
Go to the next page, then you read the wrong one. See. This is C. What are the contents of 34C again?
Yeah, C gives the county code, county name, constituency code, constituency name, polling station code, polling station name, and then the candidate. Then total valid votes and rejected ballots.
And that...
Then there is sub-county total, county subtotal.
So if you are faithful to Form 34C, that form should be about 500 pages. 400, 500 pages. From that
thereabout, yeah.
Yes. And it says again in the law that you must publish before the results are declared. Was it published before Mr. Chebukati announced the results on 15th of August? Was it published in the format is prescribed?
The results, as I mentioned to you, were published out of our portal, which means when the verification was happening on the floor, it was automatically updating in the system. And so what was published is what was in the portal.
You know, Professor, you've told this tribunal, and you're being led by Peter, that my client violated the law. So, and you actually supported it. And I want to know from you, what results did you want my client to support when you not published the results until today in the prescribed format Form 34C in a public portal?
As far as I am concerned, the results that were announced was the results that was in the portal.
As I say again, you've told us we must be faithful to the law. You were the team leader of the tallying center. From your own knowledge as a team leader, did you publish the results in the format 34C in entirety, 500 pages?
The results were published in the portal, and the results was being printed from the portal.
When the committees were formed in June 2021, you told us, Do you remember the members of your committee, elections committee?
Which elections committee?
The committees were formed in June. You told us, which were made. You made a member of the committee of the elections committee, but there were other committees by the chairman. He formed other committees.
No, that was not June. It was after the new commissioners joined us.
Yeah, sorry, not June. September. Sorry.
Yeah.
September.
Yeah.
You correctly said Irene chaired the legal committee. You were the chair of elections committee, elections operations.
Operations.
Do you remember the members of that committee?
My committee?
Yes, election committee as of September 2021.
Yeah, we had Irene and Nyangai.
Yeah, so you were three of you.
Each committee had about three committees.
Yeah. Then I'm a member from the secretariat.
Yeah, of course.
So it was you, Irene, and Nyangaya. This is June. That means September when you were appointed to the elections committee. So I want to understand, when the elections was actually done in August, how come the chairman reconstituted committee and removed the other two commissioners and made you the team leader and made Marjana CEO, alternate team leader?
That you can ask the chair. But from my understanding is that the tasks that were being overseen by the commissioners were wide and varied. And it is for that reason, and some of the tasks were not directly related to the committee that you are involved in. And so because of the nature of the tasks, the chair had redistributed the commissioners in performing or oversighting various tasks, and yet the actual work was being done by the secretariat staff, because under each commissioner there were commission staff that were performing the actual duties.
The Constitution, what does it say about the role of the commissioners in presidential elections? What is the role of the commissioners?
It's mainly to provide oversight.
No.
No.
It is to verify and tally presidential results. We need to read the Constitution. You know, you've been telling us about the fidelity and law, Professor, so we must be faithful to the law. What does the Constitution say about presidential results? I mean, presidential elections. Maybe just need to be reminded the role of your commissioners. Sorry, Chairman, we have to take time on the commissioner because it was very sanctimonious on the fidelity of the law, so we must tell him what the law says. Just give him again. Let him read section 138, 3C, the role of the commissioners. Just read loud.
138, 3C, is it?
Yeah.
In the presidential election, after counting the votes and the polling stations, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission shall tally and verify the count and declare the result. But this is now the commission, the IEBC commission.
You'll pick it from there.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yes. So that...
How about not forget?
No. We are all here to remind you.
Okay.
So we'll take 15 minutes break and then we'll resume. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, like you see, these are the fabrics we use for the sofas. Yeah, there are different types of fabrics.
Sabak.
This is the best way to go. Eat color, eat raw, you know, like this is a line.
Well, 2022 is behind us. 2023 is here with us. What are your plans? We here at TV47's Morning Cafe have great plans for you. We're talking about information, we're talking about entertainment, we're talking about the greatness for the year. So make sure that you're always with us every morning.
Kwa muonekano wao hauwezi ukajua waliopitia, kwa sura zao zinapong'aa hauwezi ukafahamu changamoto zao. Nyuma yao ipo stori na historia. Katika kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi tunakupa nafasi kuweza kuwafahamu kila siku ya Alhamisi kuanzia saa 1:30 kuendelea. Nami Elizabeth Mutu.
Your health matters, and Body Garage is here to guide you on it.
Someone's after using the medication, the virus number of the HIV in someone's body will start to go.
My medication, wherever I go, I must make sure I'm committed to my medication. Yes, and I should watch what I'm eating. I should not just eat from everywhere or not just eat anything.
We talk mental, physical, and spiritual health. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Lover of farming? Well, Kilimo Diaries is your home for different farming ventures, crops, animals, and so much more. Every Sunday, with a new year comes endless possibilities, and as we continue to tell the stories of those abled differently, do make sure to join us on Beyond the Limit every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
It's a new year, and with a new year, it means new business ideas, new trends in the market, and new tips to make your current business even better.
Giving an option for a customer to have unsecured financing enables them to get the product today without putting any collateral down.
And we here on The Grind, we will be at the forefront to keep you in the loop every Monday at 8:30 p.m.
Yeah, like you see, these are the fabrics we use for the sofas. Yeah, there are different types of fabrics.
Sabak.
This is the best way to go. Eat color, eat raw, you know, like this is a line.
Well, 2022 is behind us. 2023 is here with us. What are your plans? We here at TV47's Morning Cafe have great plans for you. We're talking about information, we're talking about entertainment, we're talking about the greatness for the year. So make sure that you're always with us every morning.
Kwa muonekano wao hauwezi ukajua waliopitia, kwa sura zao zinapong'aa hauwezi ukafahamu changamoto zao. Nyuma yao ipo stori na historia. Katika kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi tunakupa nafasi kuweza kuwafahamu kila siku ya Alhamisi kuanzia saa 1:30 kuendelea. Nami Elizabeth Mutu.
health matters and Body Garage is here to guide you on it.
Someone's, after using the medication, the virus number of the HIV in someone's body will start to go.
My medication, wherever I go, I must make sure I'm committed to my medication. Yes, and I should watch what I'm eating. I should not just eat from everywhere or not just eat anything.
We talk mental, physical, and spiritual health. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Lover of farming? Well, Kilimo Diaries is your home for different farming ventures, crops, animals, and so much more. Every Sunday, with a new year comes endless possibilities, and as we continue to tell the stories of those abled differently, do make sure to join us on Beyond the Limit every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
It's a new year, and with a new year, it means new business ideas, new trends in the market, and new tips to make your current business even better.
Giving an option for a customer to have unsecured financing enables them to get the product today without putting any collateral down.
And we here on The Grind, we will be at the forefront to keep you in the loop every Monday at 8:30 p.m.
Here, like you see, these are the fabrics we use for the sofas. Yeah, there are different types of fabrics.
Sabak. It is the best way to go. Eat color, eat raw, like this is alive.
Well, 2022 is behind us. 2023 is here with us. What are your plans? We here at TV47's Morning Cafe have great plans for you. We're talking about information, we're talking about entertainment, we're talking about the greatness for the year. So make sure that you're always with us every morning.
Kwa muonekano wao hauwezi ukajua waliopitia. Kwa sura zao zinapong'aa, hauwezi ukafahamu changamoto zao. Nyuma yao ipo stori la historia. Katika kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi, tunakupa nafasi kuweza kuwafahamu kila siku ya Alhamisi kuanzia saa 1:30 kuendelea. Nami Elizabeth Mutu.
Your health matters and Body Garage is here to guide you on it.
Someone's, after using the medication, the virus number of the HIV in someone's body will start to go.
My medication, wherever I go, I must make sure I'm committed to my medication. Yes, and I should watch what I'm eating. I should not just eat from everywhere or not just eat anything.
We talk mental, physical, and spiritual health. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Lover of farming? Well, Kilimo Diaries is your home for different farming ventures, crops, animals, and so much more. Every Sunday,
Alia dakika 5 kabla ya saa 6 mchana saa za Afrika ya Mashariki. Natumai Jumatatu yako inakuendea vema popote ulipo. Hujambo na karibu. Hiki ni kipindi cha matukio mtambuko. Mtazamaji, leo tunajikita kwenye masuala ya elimu, ikizingatiwa kwamba wanafunzi kote nchini wanarejea shuleni kwa muhula wa kwanza, na kalenda ya elimu itakuwa ikirejelea hali yake ya kawaida tangia mwaka wa 2020, wakati ambapo mchamko wa virusi vya corona ulishuhudiwa humu nchini na kutatiza masomo kwa takriban miezi 7. Na studioni siko peke yangu, ninao wachanganuzi wa masuala ya elimu. Upande huu wa mwisho kabisa yupo Daktari Foeb Mwaneki, ni mwelekezi wa taaluma. Asante sana daktari kwa kutenga muda wako. Asante. Katikati yupo mhadhiri, vilevile ni mwandishi wa vitabu, si mwingine bali ni Bwana Evans Osoro. Asante sana Osoro kwa kuungana nasi.
Nashukuru.
Mwisho kabisa upande wangu wa kulia yupo Triza Mwangi, ni afisa wa elimu ya umma kutoka mamlaka ya Nakada. Asante sana kwa kuungana nasi.
Shukran.
Nawe mtazamaji pale nyumbani, una fursa ya kuchangia kwenye mdahalo huu kupitia mitandao yetu yote ya kijamii. Kwenye Facebook TV47 na Kenya, Twitter ni @TV47KE na @Kilemi_Andrin. Na vilevile tutakuwa tunaungana na wanahabari wetu kutoka maeneo mbalimbali humu nchini, tuone hali ilivyo katika vituo vya magari. Vilevile tupate kujua walimu na shule zimejitayarisha kwa njia gani kuwapokea wanafunzi hawa kwa muhula wa kwanza baada ya likizo ndefu. Na tunazamia mdahalo wetu hapa studioni, na nadhani nitakuwa nikianza nawe Bwana Osoro. Tunaangazia kalenda ambayo ilikuwa imeathirika kwa zaidi au takriban miaka miwili, tangia mwaka wa 2020 tuko mwaka wa 2023. Mambo hayajakuwa sawa, kwamba wanafunzi walikuwa wakikwenda pale shuleni, lakini inawalazimu kuendesha masomo yao kwa muda finyu uliokuwepo. Lakini kwa sasa kalenda inarejelea hali yake ya kawaida. Unadhani kwamba shule zimejitayarisha kwa hili, ikizingatiwa kwamba hapo awali hali ilikuwa ni tofauti kidogo?
Asante sana. Kwanza Andri, nashukuru tena kwa nafasi hii, na wanajopo wenzangu na kule nyumbani, hamjambo. Nataka niseme kwamba ni afueni kubwa kwa washikadau wote katika sekta ya elimu kwa kalenda kurejelea hali yake ya kawaida.
Naam.
Si walimu, si wanafunzi, si wazazi. Manake baada ya ule mlipuko wa janga la corona, ilibidi kalenda ipelekwe kwa kasi isiyokuwa ya kawaida. Jambo hilo limewatatiza sana walimu, wanafunzi na hali kadhalika wazazi. Kumbuke kwamba mihula ilifinywa ikawa mingi katika mwaka, na hivyo wazazi hawakupata nafasi ya kutosha ya kutafuta hela na mahitaji mengine. Kwa hivyo ni afueni, na nafikiri watu wote wako tayari kwa kalenda kurejelea hali yake ya kawaida, na itakwenda sawa mwaka huu.
Tunapoangazia walimu ambao ni washikadau miongoni tu mwa washikadau katika sekta hii ya elimu, na ambao wana nafasi kubwa na majukumu mengi katika kuhakikisha kwamba wanafunzi wanarejelea masomo yao na kadhalika wanaendesha masomo kwa njia iliyo sawa. Tukiangazia kwamba kuna wale wanafunzi ambao watakuwa kijiunga na shule za msingi kiwango cha chini, shule za sekondari kiwango cha chini maarufu junior secondary school, ifikiapo tarehe 30. Vilevile walimu hawa ndio wao walimu ambao watakuwa kihitajika kutoa mafunzo. Manake serikali imesema itakuwa ikiajiri walimu wengine zaidi 30,000. Lakini wale waliopo pia watakuwa wakipokea mafunzo kuweza kuwafunza wale wanafunzi ambao watakuwa kijiunga na junior secondary ifikiapo mwishoni mwa mwezi huu. Kwa mtazamo wako daktari, hili litakuwa ni jukumu zaidi kwa walimu ambao tayari wana majukumu mengi ya wanafunzi ambao watakuwa kipokelewa kuanzia leo na wiki hii nzima?
Asante. Niseme ni kweli walimu watakuwa na jukumu kubwa, kwa sababu huu ni mtaala mpya ambao wanaenda kuzingatia. Ukiangalia hatujakuwa pale, na ni kitu mpya ambayo hata wanafunzi wetu hawajaielewa. Kwa hivyo utaangalia walimu itabidi wajikaze kabisa kushikanisha majukumu walio nayo wa huu mtaala na huu mtaala mpya. Tuseme pengine ile
serikali imechukua hatua kubwa sana kujaribu kuwapatia ujuzi, kuwaelimisha. Ingawa bado hatuna hao walimu wa kufundisha hiyo junior secondary school. Kwa hivyo kwa sasa tuna expect kutakuwa na shinikizo pale hapa na pale, lakini tunafikiria serikali imechukua hatua zinazofaa kuhakikisha ya kwamba huo mtaala unaanza vizuri kuanzia tarehe 30 hii mwezi.
Asante sana. Nikukumbushe tu mtazamaji kwamba unazidi kufuatilia kipindi cha Matukio Mtambuko. Tunajikita kwenye masuala ya elimu. Tunaangazia ufunguzi wa shule mwaka 2023 ambapo wanafunzi wanarejelea masomo yao kwa muhula wa kwanza, na ni wakati wa kwanza kabisa ambapo kalenda ya elimu inarejelea hali yake ya kawaida. Na tunapozungumzia swala zima la kurejelea masomo, Beatrice Mwangi, swala la mitihani bila shaka lazima litaibuka. Na mwaka huu wakati wa kutangaza matokeo ya mtihani wa kitaifa wa KCSE, basi pamekuwepo na tetesi kwamba huenda mchakato mzima haukufanyika kwa njia iliyostahili, au huenda palikuwepo na udanganyifu wakati wa mtihani wa kitaifa. Shule ambazo zilikuwa hazijulikani kwa sasa zimeibuka kidedea, na zile ambazo tulizijua sasa hazionekani popote, na iwapo zinaonekana basi ziko huku chini. Kwa hivyo hali ikawa ni tofauti kidogo. Kwa mfano unapata shule ya upili kutoka eneo la kaunti ya Kisii limeongeza alama kutoka 0.5 hadi 0.7. Je, hili linawezekana kwamba just from nowhere shule inaweza ikaongeza alama zake kwa zaidi ya alama 5 au hata 4, 3? Inawezekana?
Naam, asante sana. Nafikiri kuna uwezekano. Kwa sababu mtihani, kama tukiweza kulinganisha na michezo kwa mfano, huwa ni mashindano. Kwa hivyo utakuta shule hii mwaka huu imefanya vema, shule ile nyingine imefanya vema mwaka huo mwingine. Kwa hivyo ni mashindano. Na hatuwezi kuketi hapa tuseme ya kwamba kulikuwa na udanganyifu ama mtihani haukuenda sawa. Tunaweza kusema ya kwamba watoto pia wenyewe walijitahidi. Na kama vile unavyojua, kuna wakati kukiwa na mabadiliko katika shule. Tuseme kwa mfano kuwe na mabadiliko ya administration. Kama kwa mfano mwalimu mkuu atolewe shule hii apelekwe shule nyingine, unakuta kuna hayo mabadiliko yataonekana hata katika mitihani. Kwa hivyo tunaweza kusema ni watoto pia walijitahidi zaidi, na ndiposa kukawa na matokeo ya aina hiyo. Naam.
Haya, mtazamaji, kwa sasa tunafululiza hadi katika kaunti ya Nakuru, eneo la Naivasha, aliko mwanahabari mwenza Willy Dennis Njiru. Tupate kusikia hali ikoje katika eneo hilo wakati ambapo wanafunzi wanarejelea masomo yao hii leo kwa muhula wa kwanza. Dennis, iwapo unanipata habari za sasa, hali ikoje katika mji huo wa Naivasha, hususan siku hii ya leo ambapo wanafunzi wanarejelea masomo yao kwa muhula wa kwanza? Naam, mtazamaji, tutakuwa tunaungana na mwanahabari wetu Willy Dennis Njiru baada ya muda usiokuwa mrefu tupate kusikia hali koje katika mji huo wa Naivasha. Lakini kwa sasa turejelee hapa studioni tuzidi kuangazia swala zima la kalenda ya elimu, na ambayo ilikuwa imeathirika pakubwa kutokana na mchamko wa virusi vya corona. Vilevile tuzidi kuangazia swala zima la mafunzo kwa wanafunzi wa shule za sekondari kiwango cha chini. Lakini kabla ya yote hayo, mwelekezi wangu ananiambia kwamba tunafululiza hadi katika eneo la Naivasha. Willy Dennis, iwapo unanipata habari za sasa, hali ikoje katika mji huo wanafunzi wanaporejelea masomo yao kwa muhula wa kwanza?
Kutoka shule ya msingi ya Milimani iliyoko katikati mwa mji huu wa Naivasha, ambapo kwa sasa tumejiunga naye mwalimu mkuu wa shule hii, kiongozwa pia na mwalimu anayesimamia masuala ya akademia katika shule hii. Watakuwa wakieleza na kupeana tathmini ya hali ilivyo kwa sasa, na ikiwa mpiga picha wangu anaweza kidogo waelezea, kuna mabango sawasawa na haya ambayo yamekuwa yakiwa kutoka kwenye lango kuu la shule hii yakielezea kwamba hakuna nafasi zaidi, japo idadi ya wanafunzi wanaotaka kujiunga na shule hii inaendelea kuongezeka. Na masuala ambayo yameweza kupatikana hapa ni kwamba kwa sasa tunaelekea karibia idadi ya wanafunzi 4,600 shule moja hii, ikizingatiwa na mwaka jana ambapo idadi hii ilikuwa 4,023. Na bila kuchukua muda mwingi, tunaye mwalimu mkuu wa shule hii, atajitambulisha jina la kwake na tueleze hali ilivyo kwa sasa.
Asante sana. Jina langu ni Martin Anyanga, mwalimu mkuu wa shule ya Milimani. Tumefungua leo vyema, wanafunzi wamekuja shule kwa wingi sana. Kama wamekuja kama wote ambao tulikuwa na mwaka jana, isipokuwa darasa la kwanza ambao hawajaingia shule, wao wataingia shule siku ya Jumatano, na darasa la 7 ama grade 7 nao wataingia next week on 30th Monday. Lakini tuko sawa, walimu wako wote wamefika shuleni mapema na kazi inaendelea vizuri. Lakini tuko na wazazi pia nao wamefika wengi kuulizia nafasi hapa shuleni, wakiulizia wapate chance kwa darasa. Lakini tuko na changamoto kidogo maana wanafunzi ni wengi sana darasani. Kama darasa la kwanza hadi la 3, kile darasa kuna wanafunzi zaidi ya 90, wengine wako mpaka 100 darasa moja. Kwa hivyo tuko na challenge ya madarasa hapa shuleni. Wazazi ni wengi ambao wanaulizia nafasi, lakini tuko na upungufu wa madarasa hapa shuleni. Lakini walimu pia tuko na hiyo challenge pia nao hawatoshi. Maana kwa sasa niko na idadi ya walimu jumla 75, 75 of them. 52 ni wa Teacher Service Commission, na wale wengine wameajiriwa na board ya shule hii ya Milimani Primary. Kwa hivyo tuko na challenge in terms of idadi ya madarasa na pia walimu ambao watafunza hawa watoto. Ndio maana kuna wazazi wengi ambao wanauliza, lakini hatuwezi pia watoto wote chance, maana tuko na limited resources. Yes.
Kabla sijavuka kwa mwalimu, muda mfupi ambao tunao, naam, swali tu labda moja, hawa wazazi ambao watapata nafasi, how are you dealing with the situation? Mnadeal na
tunashirikiana na walimu wengine wakuu wa shule hapa Naivasha, shule za umma. Kwa hivyo tunawatuma kwa zile shule zingine pia waende waulizie kuna nafasi. Pia naongea na walimu kule, tunawapigia simu kama kuna nafasi, tunawatuma wazazi kule. Na pia tunashirikiana na ofisi yetu ya elimu, tunawatuma kule ili wapate kuelekeza kwa shule ambazo watapata nafasi.
Asante mwalimu, tu labda muda wetu umekuwa mdogo, swali moja tu, mnaweza kukabiliana vipi na changamoto zinazotokana pengine na idadi kubwa hii, ikizingatiwa mambo ya masuala ya masomo darasani na mitihani? Labda hilo tu kwa sasa.
Sisi kama walimu ambao wanashughulikia masuala ya akademia tumejipanga vilivyo. Tuko walimu wawili katika ofisi hiyo, na katika ofisi hiyo tunashughulikia masuala ya kuhakikisha kwamba kila darasa linapata walimu wa kutosha na walimu wanahudhuria madarasa hayo ipasavyo kila wakati. Changamoto zipo, lakini kwa usaidizi wake mwalimu mkuu anatusaidia kwamba tunapata walimu. Unakiangalia kwamba walimu ambao wameajiriwa na TSC ni 52, lakini kati ya hawa 52 tuna walimu 75 katika shule hii. Kwa hivyo hawa wengine wote ni mwalimu mkuu ametusaidia na kutuajiria ili tuweze kazi yetu ya akademia iwe rahisi na wanafunzi wapate masomo ipasavyo.
Asante. Andrin mwenzangu studioni, masuala ni kama hayo ilivyosadikika hapa kutoka kwa baadhi tu ya walimu hapa, ikiongozwa na mwalimu mkuu Bwana Martin Anyanga, akiweza kuelezea hali ilivyo hapa, na mambo haya yameenea katika shule zingine zilizoko katikati mwa mji huu. Labda pengine kwenye taarifa zetu za baadaye tutaweza kuwa labda tukivuka kwenye maeneo ya kuegeza ya vituo vya magari, labda kuangalia hali ilivyo kutoka maeneo yale ambapo kuna pilka za kila aina za kurejea shuleni. Kumradhi. Kutoka kwangu hapa mjini Naivasha na kurejeshia majembe kwako studioni Andrin Kilemi.
Naam, napokea majembe hayo kutoka mji huo wa Naivasha. Asante sana mwanahabari mwenza Willy Dennis Njiru. Mtazamaji, nikukumbushe tu kwamba tunazidi kuangazia ufunguzi wa shule na masuala katika sekta hii ya elimu, ikizingatiwa kwamba masuala yanazidi kuibuka kila kunapokucha. Swala zima la mtaala wa CBC, vilevile ule mpito kutoka grade ya 6 hadi grade ya 7, na ni wanafunzi ambao wanatarajiwa kuwa wanarejelea masomo yao ifikiapo tarehe 30 mwezi Januari, mwishoni mwa mwezi huu, na wale wanafunzi wengine wakitarajiwa kurejelea masomo yao kuanzia leo. Hali kadhalika wanafunzi wa kidato cha kwanza mwezi Februari tarehe 6 watakuwa wakirejelea masomo yao. Kwa hivyo ni dhahiri shairi kwamba shughuli nzima ya masomo inarejelewa kote nchini na inarejelewa kama hali ilivyokuwa hapo awali, ikizingatiwa kwamba kwa miaka miwili wanafunzi au masomo yalitatizika kutokana na mchamko wa virusi vya corona. Lakini kwa sasa ninaungana naye Alfayo Kombo kutoka gatuzi la Nyamira. Alfayo, habari za sasa, hali koje katika gatuzi hilo la Nyamira? Ni mwamko mpya, safari mpya kwa wanafunzi ambao watakuwa wakitoka darasa moja kuingia darasa lingine. Hali ikoje shughuli hii nzima inapoendelea katika gatuzi hilo?
Naam, asante sana Adrian Kilemi, na kupata vyema kabisa. Kama nilivyo, nipo katika shule moja ya sekondari kutoka eneo hili la kaunti ya Nyamira ya wadi ya Borabu, ambapo najumuika na walimu ambao katika shule hili ambao wamejitayarisha na wapo tayari kusubiria wanafunzi ambao watakuwa naingia shule hii leo na wengine hapo kesho, siku ya kesho. Na pia nitakuwa naongea na naibu mwalimu mkuu atueleze wamejitayarishaje, kwa kuwa wanafunzi wamekuwa nyumbani katika likizo ndefu kwa kweli. Na pengine atakuwa namuomba afika hapa karibu atueleze siku ya leo umejipangaje kupokea wanafunzi kwa likizo ndefu, kwa sababu kumekuwa na matukio mengi yakitokea wanafunzi wakati wa likizo ndefu wakiwa nyumbani. Pengine kwa jina lako na utuanzishie kutueleza ni yapi ambayo umejitayarisha kuwapokea wanafunzi.
Thank you very much. I'm Henry Mokaya, Deputy Principal Academics. We are preparing to receive the Form 2, 3, 4 tomorrow. We have prepared the boarding section. The tuition block is already set to receive the 6 streams by class tomorrow. And then come the 6th of Feb, we are planning to receive, and we are prepared to receive 8 streams of the Form 1 class. We have enough classes, some of which were set aside for CPC. But now that CPC has moved to the primary section, we have enough space, and we have a capacity of even having 10 to 12 streams in Form 1 come 6th of February. Thank you very much.
Pengine wito wako kwa wazazi ambao wanafunzi wameitwa katika shule hii, pengine utakuwa unawaambiaje pengine wale ambao hawajui shule hii?
What to urge all our parents and guardians that let the students come in time, because they have overstayed at home. We want to start anew, remind them of what we did in the previous classes, and then pick on quickly to the current year syllabus. Otherwise, we welcome you and thank you.
Naam, asante sana Adrian Kilemi. Kama ulivyoweza kusikia tu, shule hii walimu wapo tayari kuwapata wanafunzi kwa wanaanza mwaka mpya, na silabasi itakuwa inaanza vizuri sana siku hii ya leo. Kwa hayo tu au machache ambayo nimeweza kuwajuza kutoka gatuzi hili la Nyamira, eneo hasa katika eneo bunge hili la Borabu, kutoka shule hii ya upili ya Menyenya. Ni hayo tu kwa sasa, pengine rejesho usukani kwako studioni Adrian Kilemi.
Asante sana Alfayo Kombo. Mtazamaji, tunazidi kuangazia swala zima la ufunguzi wa shule, maswala ibuka katika sekta ya elimu. Bwana Osoro, umemsikia yule mwalimu pale akisema kwamba ifikiapo Februari tarehe 6 wanatarajia kuwapokea wanafunzi wengine katika madarasa takriban 8, na anasema huenda idadi hiyo ikaongezeka hadi wanafunzi kwa madarasa 12. Na tunaangalia tatizo lililopo katika sekta ya elimu na katika shule zetu ni uhaba wa walimu. Japokuwa serikali inasema kwamba itakuwa ikiwaajiri walimu zaidi 30,000. Tukilinganisha idadi hii ambayo tunaisikia sasa hivi na idadi ya walimu ambao wanatarajiwa kuajiriwa kupitia TSC, unadhani kwamba tatizo hili tutakuwa tukipata suluhu lake sasa?
Asante sana Andrine. Pengine ukiwa utaniruhusu, ningependa kumtilia upondo Triza.
Naam.
Katika mada ile ya awali, tukizungumzia jinsi wanafunzi walivyofanya kwenye mtihani wa kitaifa uliokwisha tangazwa hivi majuzi. Yo, Swahili wanasema mcheza kwa utuzwa. Ala sivyo uangaliwa tu. Miaka 3-4 iliyopita serikali ilianza mchakato mzima wa uhamisho wa walimu kwenye ule mpango kwamba walimu hasa wale wakuu wasifanye kazi kwao nyumbani. Nafikiri matunda ndio haya tumeyaona. Kwangu mimi yale matokeo nafikiri ni mbinu zilizowekwa na serikali na hali kadhalika pia bidii ya wanafunzi. Nije kwa swali lako, kusema ukweli uhaba wa walimu nchini Kenya umefikia kiwango cha juu sana. Ukitembea kwenye shule nyingi, hali ni kwamba imebidi shule kupitia kwa halmashauri ya usimamizi kuajiri walimu. Kwa hivyo ili swala zima la elimu Kenya liweze kuendelea vizuri, nafikiri itabidi serikali iajiri walimu, kwa sababu viwango vya wanafunzi katika shule takribani zote vimeongezeka mno. Kwa hivyo serikali haitakuwa na budi ila kuajiri walimu wa kutosha iwapo wanafunzi wetu watapata masomo viwango vinavyostahili.
Naam. Daktari, nirejeshe swala la matokeo ya mtihani wa kitaifa wa KCSE ambapo tetesi zimekuwepo kwamba huenda mchakato mzima kidogo ulihitilafiwa au huenda mtihani ulikuwa na dosari, wanafunzi walipata ile leakage, na kwa hivyo wakati huu tukaona matokeo tofauti kidogo ambapo shule inaongeza alama ile yake ya wastani kutoka kiwango fulani hadi kiwango kingine. Kwa mtazamo wako, sijui iwapo hili linawezekana kwamba shule ambayo mwaka uliopita katika mtihani wa kitaifa wa KCSE ilikuwa na idadi ya tuseme 5%, lakini kwa sasa asilimia hiyo imeongezeka hadi 10%. Hilo linawezekana?
Asante Adrian, ninafikiria nitaunga mkono wenzangu niseme ya kwamba inawezekana, kwa sababu vile tu inawezekana kuongeza alama 2, inawezekana pia kuangusha alama 2. Kwa hivyo ni bidii ya watoto, na tuangalie huo muda ambao hao watoto wamekuwa wakisoma. Imebidi watie bidii, imebidi hata wazazi walimu wenyewe wakaweza kutia bidii ndio wakaweza kupata haya mapato. Kwa nini nasema hivyo? Ukiangalia asilimia ya tuangalie ya alama ya A. Utaangalia asilimia ya wasichana kuelekea vijana. Wasichana walikuwa around 271, la vijana ilikuwa almost 875. Hii inakwambia nini? Haikukuwa na ya kwamba ni hii shule ilipita. It was just, ilikuwa tu ya kwamba ni watoto walitia bidii. Ingekuwa ni haikukuwa halali, tungepata ya kwamba ingekuwa 50%, asilimia 50% wamepata A, asilimia 50% wamepata A kwa vijana na kwa wasichana. Lakini kwa sasa ni vile tu shule ilitia bidii ikapita. Haikukuwa hali ya jeda, haikukuwa hali ya county, ilikuwa tu hali ya shule kutia bidii. Sababu mimi najua kuna shule zilitoka alama ya 9 wakarudi ya 7. Kwa hivyo inawezekana pia wale waliokuwa ya 7 wakaelekea ya 9.
Naam. Yeah. Bwana Soro, pamekuwepo na tetesi kwamba huenda hali hii tunayoshuhudia ya kwamba wale wanafunzi ambao walipata alama ya cha kuongeza na ambacho ndicho kiwango cha kujiunga na vyuo vikuu, huenda hali hii inatokea ili kusaidia vyuo na hususan vyuo vya kibinafsi kupata fedha zaidi kupitia zile ambazo tunasema ni parallel courses. Unadhani hili lina uwezekano kidogo kwamba
Sidhani, kwa sababu jinsi mtihani unavyotungwa na jinsi ambavyo unawasilishwa kwa wanafunzi na pia jinsi ambavyo unatainiwa, hakuna nafasi ambapo mtu anaweza kuhitilafiana. Nafikiri taasisi ya unda mitihani nchini NEC ina wataalamu wa kutosha, ina viwango vyao vya kufanya kazi, na kile ambacho wanafunzi wanakipata wanakipewa tu. Na pia ukiangalia vizuri haya matokeo yamekuwa yakiongezeka kuanzia mwaka wa 2016. Kwa hivyo the curve is normal. Kama naweza kusema, sidhani kuna mbinu yoyote ama kuhitilafiana ndio vio vipate wanafunzi, hapana.
Kwa hivyo kwa kifupi unasema kwamba sekta ya binafsi haina mkono wowote kwa swala hili, ambapo tukiangalia idadi ya alama cha kuongeza imeongezeka maradufu tangia mwaka wa 2016 ikilinganishwa na mwaka huu ambapo takriban wanafunzi 176,000 hata zaidi walizoa alama ya cha kuongeza kwenda juu katika mtihani wa kitaifa wa KCSE wa mwaka wa 2022. Idadi hii imeongezeka maradufu tangia mwaka wa 2016. Hapana uwezekano wowote kwamba labda sekta ya kibinafsi ina mkono wowote kuhakikisha kwamba wanafunzi wanaozoa alama za kujiunga na vyuo vikuu ni wengi kiasi kwamba serikali haiwezi kawasitiri wote, na hivyo patakuwa na haja ya wanafunzi hawa kuingia katika vyuo na hususan vya kibinafsi kupata elimu hii?
Haiwezekani. Hiyo nyongeza kitaalamu inawezekana. Ukiangalia vizuri idadi imekuwa ikiongezeka pengine ya 10,000, 20 namna hiyo, kitaalam inawezekana. Alafu tena niseme usahishaji wa mitihani hufanywa na panels, ambapo mbinu ile ambayo hutumiwa ni conveyor belt, kwamba kuna wasahishaji pengine 6 wameketi, huyu usahisha swali hili la kwanza, huyu la pili, huyu la tatu, kuna msimamizi wao mkuu, alafu inazidi kipanda hivyo. Ni wapi hapa ambapo mtu ataitilafiana na haya matokeo? Sidhani hiyo nyongeza inawezekana kitaalam. Maana wanafunzi jinsi wanavyoendelea kupitia mitihani ya awali wanazidi kuongeza maarifa na kuelewa jinsi utaini unavyokuwa. Kwa hivyo ni jambo ambalo linawezekana.
Naam. Triza, tunapoangazia swala zima la mitihani ya kitaifa katika siku za hivi karibuni, tumeona kwamba mambo yanazidi kubadilika. Waziri wa elimu Daktari Ezekiel Machogu anapokuwa akifanya matangazo haya, anakwepa sana kuwataja wanafunzi bora, anakwepa sana kuzitaja zile shule bora. Na sasa maswala kama haya yanaibuka kwamba labda mtihani ulikuwa na dosari, labda mchakato mzima wa usahihishaji ulikuwa na dosari. Sijui wapo unaunga mkono kutowataja wanafunzi bora, kutozitaja zile shule bora wakati ambapo tunatangaza matokeo ya wanafunzi katika mtihani wa kitaifa?
Asante sana. Nafikiri hiyo ni mbinu ambayo ni nzuri zaidi. Kutowataja ama kutotaja zile shule bora zaidi na kutowataja pia wanafunzi wale bora zaidi.
Naam.
Hii ni kwa sababu wanafunzi wote wanapofanya mtihani, hakuna yule ambaye huwa anatarajia kuanguka mtihani. Wote huwa wana matarajio ya kupasi ule mtihani, na kwa hivyo kuanza kutangaza kwamba hizi shule ndizo zimefanya bora zaidi pia huwa ina effect yake nyingine, kwa sababu utakuta shule zikifunguliwa, wazazi karibu wote wanataka kupeleka watoto wao katika ile shule ambayo imefanya bora zaidi. So hiyo pia inachangia kutokaa ni kama kwamba serikali ina advertise shule ambazo zimefanya bora zaidi. Ukiangalia hapo awali kumekuwa na visa vya watoto hata kujitoa uhai kwa sababu ya vile matokeo ya mtihani yametokea. Kwa hivyo hivi waziri alivyofanya kutotangaza shule zile bora zaidi ama wanafunzi wale bora zaidi, nafikiri ni vema zaidi. Kwa sababu baadaye bado tulikuja kujua ni nani amefanya bora zaidi, ni shule gani imeibuka bora kushinda nyingine, lakini nafikiri waziri alifanya vizuri kutotangaza.
Tunapozidi kuangazia ufunguzi wa shule, Daktari Phoebe Mwaneki, Phoebe natumai nimesema jina hilo sahihi. Tunaona kwamba hali ya uchumi kidogo si nzuri, na wanafunzi na hususan wale wa shule ya sekondari kiwango cha chini, junior secondary, watakapokuwa wakirejelea masomo yao, wazazi watatarajiwa kuingia kwenye mifuko tena zaidi. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu sare ya shule inahitajika kuwa tofauti na sare ya shule ya msingi. Mtazamo wako ni upi?
Niseme ya kwamba kweli kumekuwa na shinikizo ya kiuchumi na imeadhili wazazi. Tukiangalia mwaka ambao tumetoka, kwa mihula minne tumekuwa tukirudi kwa mfuko karibu baada ya kila mwezi mmoja na nusu, miezi 2. Lakini kwa huu mfumo wa junior secondary school nitasema hivi, Cabinet Secretary amesema ya kwamba, waziri wa education amesema ya kwamba sio lazima mzazi akaweza kununua ile sare kama hana uwezo. Amesema kama mwanafunzi hana uwezo akaweza endelea na ile sare akanunua baadaye, na hilo ni jambo la muhimu kwa sababu kweli vile unasema wazazi hawataweza kununua hizo sare, na tunashukuru ya kwamba hao watoto wameendelea kukaa katika shule za msingi, kwa sababu ingekuwa uchumi zaidi ama ongezeko la pesa kama tungekuwa tunapeleka watoto mbali kwa shule za bweni, kwa shule tofauti. Kwa hivyo kwa sasa hali ya sare sidhani itakuwa gumu sana, kwa sababu kama mzazi hana uwezo, serikali imeruhusu mtoto akaendelea na ile sare mpaka wakati ataweza kuinunua.
Lakini daktari, iwapo unasema kwamba na hata waziri alisema iwapo mzazi hana uwezo basi si lazima. Lakini tuangalie tarehe 30. Wanafunzi wa junior secondary wamerejea shuleni. Kuna mzazi ambaye ana uwezo amenunua sare yake. Kuna mwingine ambaye hana uwezo hajanunua sare. Unaona hali ambayo itakuwepo, confusion ambayo itakuwepo wakati huo, wakati ambapo wanafunzi watakuwa wanarejelea masomo yao ifikiapo tarehe 30 Januari. Je, ingekuwa bora hata zaidi wapo serikali, wizara ya elimu ingesema kwamba tunachukua muda kidogo, wazazi wajipange kidogo kabla ya kubadilisha sare hizi?
Tuseme hivi kwa sababu ya vile tumerejea katika kalenda ya kawaida kwa sasa, ni muhimu watoto wajiunge na shule kwa sasa tarehe hiyo 30. Hiyo
ni muhimu warejelee masomo.
Ni muhimu warejelee masomo. Lakini vile tunasema ni kweli, wangegoja mpaka hii mtaala uendelee, wazazi wakaweza kujipanga, shule zikaweza kujipanga, diposa kweli wakanunua sare baadaye. Lakini hata kwa sasa shule ikaweza kuongea, ikaweza jipanga yenyewe, ikampata mpango wa vile watoto wataweza kununua sare. Shule yenyewe hata inaweza saidia wale watoto hawana uwezo. Lakini kwa sasa nadhani ni sawa tu, wanaelewana pia hao watoto. Ni kweli ulikuwa darasa la 6, darasa la 6 sasa unaingia grade ya 7. Kwa hivyo najua wewe umekuwa mmoja wetu. Sana wengi watakaa tu kwa shule zao. Kwa hivyo nafikiria waende na sare zao, wasiende na sare zao ni sawa tu.
Naam. Bwana Osoro, mtaala wa CBC mara nyingi umenyoshewa kidole wakisema kwamba CBC kidogo iliharakishwa. Wiki jana tuliona washikadau katika sekta ya elimu wakiwemo wale wakuu wa UWASU wakisema kwamba kwa nini tuliondokea mtaala wa 844 ilhali mikakati yake ilikuwa sawa. Kwa nini hatungechukua muda kurekebisha au hata kustreamline hii CBC kabla ya kujiingiza kwayo? Sijui wapo unaona CBC kidogo iliharakishwa, tukiangalia mianya iliyopo katika huu mpito na ambao unatarajiwa kuwa mpito wa 100%.
Asante. Kurejelea mtaala wa zamani wa 844 hakuna busara. Huo mtaala ulikuwa umepitwa na wakati. Dunia nzima inaelekea mtaala wa umilisi. Hivyo ndivyo ilivyo. Mataifa yale makuu kiuchumi yalishahama na kuchukua mtaala mpya wa umilisi. Jambo tu jinsi ulivyosema na kuunga mkono, kweli kulikuwa na kuharakishwa kidogo. Lakini ukizingatia vile viwango vya success kwa mtaala huu ni viwango ambavyo vinakubalika kimataifa. Maanake kama ni 6 juu ya 10 basi iko sawa. Jambo moja tu ni ruhusu niseme, kwa mfano, kukubali kuweka shule ya sekondari daraja la awali kwenye shule ya msingi. Ukiniuliza kama kuna busara, nitasema ndio na hapana. Hapana, kwa sababu jinsi mtaala wa shule ya sekondari daraja la awali ulivyo, hakuna miundo msingi ya kutosha katika shule za msingi. Baadhi ya masomo kweli yalihitaji daraja hilo liwe katika shule za sekondari hii ya kawaida. Na ndiyo kwa sababu ni afueni kwa wazazi, maanake hao wanafunzi bado umri wao ni mdogo, watakaa karibu na nyumbani. Lakini kwa kijumla ule umilisi, kumbuka kwamba hiki ndicho kiwango ambapo sasa wanafunzi wanaelekezwa kwenye ule utambuzi wa vipaji. Maanake mtaala mpya wa umilisi kiini chake ni wanafunzi waweze kutambuliwa vipaji vyao na vianze kukuzwa. Mimi naona hakuna ujuzi wa kutosha kwa walimu wa sasa wa shule za msingi kuendeleza hao wanafunzi wa shule ya sekondari daraja la awali. Ingekuwa vyema zaidi ingekwenda katika shule ya sekondari. Lakini tuamini pengine ni mpito tu, baadaye itaweza kupelekwa kwenye upande huu ambapo inastahili kuwa.
Naam.
Asante.
Bitriza, Bwana Osoro hapa anasema kwamba mtaala wa CBC kidogo kwa mtazamo wake uliharakishwa. Na anasema ndio ni vizuri kuweka junior secondary katika himaya ya shule za msingi, lakini tena anasema hapana kwa sababu ambazo amezitaja. Wewe unasemaje?
Nafikiri namuunga mkono kwa sababu ya hali ilivyo. Kwa sababu ingekuwa mtaala huu ungepelekwa katika shule za sekondari, shule nyingi tulizonazo ni za bweni. Na hawa watoto kama vile alivyotaja Bwana Osoro, wengi wao ni wa umri ambao ni wa chini. Kwa hivyo hata kuweza kukaa katika zile shule za bweni kwa mfano na kuweza kujifanyia mambo kule, ingekuwa ni kidogo ni ngumu kwao. Kuangalia tena wakati ile culture ambayo tumekuwa nayo ya shule za sekondari ni kwamba mtoto ni kama transition kutoka stage moja kwenda nyingine. Lakini wakati ambapo hawa transition yao inafanyika, hawange fit vema kule kwenye zile shule za sekondari. Iwapo pia wakati anapoongea kuhusu infrastructure, katika shule za sekondari kuna infrastructure ya kutosha, kwa mfano zile laboratory ambazo wanahitaji. So imebidi shule ambazo ni za msingi zianze majengo mapya ili kuweza kuwa na hizi laboratories, na pia tukiangazia pia ile mambo ya kubadilisha uniform, nafikiri hiyo ni kitu nzuri, lakini pia wazazi wanahitaji muda kidogo. Kwa sababu lazima kuwe na hiyo tofauti, kati ya junior secondary na sasa primary, ili watoto pia waweze kujua kwamba kuna hiyo transition. Lakini kama vile alivyosema, ingekuwa ni vema ingekuwa kwa secondary schools, lakini hata kwa zile primary schools tunaweza kutengeneza ile infrastructure ambayo inahitajika. Ni vile haitaweza kufanyika mara moja. Naam.
Haya, Daktari Phoebe, tunapoangazia mpito wa kutoka grade ya 6 kuelekea grade ya 7 ambayo kwa sasa itakuwa ni junior secondary, na ambayo kulingana na Wizara ya Elimu sasa ni wazi kwamba itakuwa ikisalia katika shule za msingi, lakini sasa watakuwa wakifahamika kama junior secondary, au ukipenda kwa Kiswahili wanafunzi wa shule za sekondari kiwango cha chini. Tunapoangalia ukaguzi ulikuwa ukiendelea kote nchini kwa shule hizi kuweza tu kutathmini iwapo zina uwezo wa kusitiri wanafunzi wa junior secondary, na shughuli hiyo ilitamatika tarehe 20 mwezi huu, na hii leo ikiwa ni tarehe 23, basi wale maafisa wa elimu wanatarajiwa kuwasilisha ripoti ile katika Wizara ya Elimu ili kuweza kuona iwapo shule hii itakuwa inawapokea wanafunzi wa junior secondary au la. Endapo ripoti hiyo itaonyesha kuna baadhi ya shule ambazo hazikuwa zimefikia viwango vilivyowekwa. Kumbuka kuna swala zima la maabara, karakana au hata madarasa mawili zaidi ya kuendeleza masomo haya. Hali itakuwa vipi kwa wanafunzi kama hao ambao walikuwa katika shule fulani na ambayo kwa sasa haijafikia viwango vilivyowekwa na serikali, na kwa hivyo wanafunzi wale hawatakuwa kijiunga na junior secondary katika shule hiyo?
Kweli Adrian, kutakuwa na changamoto kwa sababu utapata kutakuwa na utofauti wa mashule. Kuna shule moja imeweza kujikimu, imeweza kujenga maabara, imeweza kununua vifaa vinavyofaa kufundisha somo tofauti, na kwa hivyo iko sawa. Na utapata shule nyingine kabisa haina uwezo, pengine iko tu na jengo yenye inaita maabara lakini haijaweza kununua vifaa zinavyohitajika. Kwa hivyo hiyo utofauti utakuwa, na hiyo ndio itakuwa changamoto sana sana kwa wazazi na watoto ambao watajaribu kuweka watoto wao kwa zile shule walikuwa wakalia rais hawataweza kuwaweka pale, maana hiyo shule haijaweza kufikia marengo ya serikali. Kwa hivyo sasa changamoto yenye itakuwa ni kwamba wazazi itabidi sasa warudi kwa mfuko, sasa waweze kununua sare, waweze kulipa fees tena, kwa sababu ni kama wana transfer watoto kutoka shule moja hadi ingine. Ile changamoto ingine itakuwa ni kwamba utapata hizi shule ambazo zimekuwa zikijikakamua na zimeshindwa kufikia haya malengo ya serikali, watakuwa wakipoteza wanafunzi. Sababu imesemekana ya kwamba kama shule haijaweza kuenroll more than 45 students, watakuwa feeder schools kupeleka hao wanafunzi kwa shule zenye zimeweza kujikimu. Kwa hivyo utapata hizo ndio changamoto mingi shule zitapitia, ya kwamba wanapoteza wanafunzi, na kwa hivyo watashindwa kuendelea na hiyo sekondari ya kiwango ya chini.
Tunapozungumzia hizi feeder schools ambazo huenda hazijafikia viwango vilivyowekwa na serikali, na ambazo sasa zitakuwa zikihitajika kuwapeleka wanafunzi wao katika shule jirani, iwapo shule hii moja itakuwa ikipokea wanafunzi kutoka katika hiyo feeder school, basi pale pia patakuwepo na changamoto ya msongamano wa wanafunzi. Hali inakuwa vipi pale ambapo walimu tulivyotaja awali ni changamoto? Sasa hawa wametoka katika shule nyingine, wameingia katika shule hii ambayo kidogo ina miundombinu na ina vifaa vinavyohitajika.
Ni kweli Adrian, kwa sababu kweli hizo feeder schools zikishapeleka watoto, utapata shule moja ambayo imeshafikisha hizo viwango inapata watoto kutoka shule ya 3 kama vile tumeona, na utapata hivyo walimu watakuwa wamepungua, walimu hawatoshi kufundisha hao watoto, hata nafasi ya madarasa haiko tena. Na kwa hivyo nadhani hapo ndio serikali inafaa imulike sana kwa sasa, na ndio sababu hatutaki watoto wetu wakakosa kupata quality, kwa sababu hakuna haja mimi nikapeleka mtoto wangu kwa shule mzuri akapata quality, na mwingine akapelekwa kwa shule nyingine akakosa kupata quality, na baada ya miaka 3 hao watoto wanafaa kufanya mtihani assessment the same. Kwa hivyo nadhani hapo kuna changamoto, na hiyo ndio serikali inafaa kumulika, isaidie mashule kujenga kujenga hizi rasilimali, kujenga hizi maabara, kununua hizi vifaa, sababu vifaa tukiangalia kama ni za maabara si za pesa kidogo. Kwa hivyo serikali inafaa kuchukua jukumu kuwasaidia hizi shule kununua hizo vitu. Na zaidi wamulike pia kuhakikisha hizi shule ambazo hazina uwezo, wao serikali wakachukua jukumu ya kuhakikisha wamewawezesha kusimama vizuri, sababu hiyo kupeleka watoto kutoka shule moja hadi nyingine itakuwa ngumu na quality ya masomo itaenda chini.
Naam. Asante sana. Naelekezwa kwamba shughuli ya kuwachunguza makamishna wa IEBC imerejelewa upande wa pili, ambapo mwanahabari mwenza Moige William yuko, na kwa hivyo nitakuwa nikitoa labda tu sekunde 30 kwako Bwana Osoro na Bitriza kwa kauli zenu za mwisho. Shule zinarejelewa kwa muhula wa kwanza. Kuna swala zima la junior secondary school. Kuna swala zima la CBC. Mabadiliko katika sare. Labda kauli yako ya mwisho itakuwa ni gani?
Asante Andri. Waswahili husema mgala muue na haki yake umpe. Naamini serikali ina uelewa wa changamoto zote zilizopo. Ipewe muda, tutafika. Kuna nchi katika dunia ambayo imewahi pata ufanisi wa 100%. Kwa hivyo Kenya tuko kwa njia nzuri tu. Si muda tutafika. Asante.
Naam, Bitriza?
Asante sana. Ni haki ya kila mwanafunzi kupata elimu bora. Na kwa hivyo tungeweza kushauri serikali wahakikisha ya kwamba maabara na karakana zimepata vifaa ambavyo vinahitajika ili kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba mfumo huu ama mtaala wa CBC unafanyika kulingana na vile inavyopaswa. Na pia ningeomba pia walimu waweze kushughulikia changamoto ambazo zinawapata watoto. Ni changamoto mingi, ikiwemo changamoto ya utumizi wa mihadarati. Na sasa hivi wamekuwa nyumbani likizo kwa muda mrefu. Kuna wale walijiingiza katika hayo mambo. Kwa hivyo watoto wanaporejelea shuleni, walimu tafadhali wawe na subira na watoto na pia kuweza kuwashauri, kwa sababu ni mambo mengi yamefanyika. Shukran.
Asante sana Bitriza Mwangi, afisa wa elimu ya umma kutoka Nakada. Naona hapo umezungumzia swala la mihadarati vizuri sana. Asante sana Evans Osoro, mhadhiri vile vile mwandishi wa vitabu. Shukran Dr. Phoebe Mwaneki, ni mwelekezi wa taaluma. Asante sana kwako mtazamaji kwa kuzidi kutegea runinga hii ya TV47. Kwa sasa ninakuvusha moja kwa moja mbashara hadi katika eneo la KICD, ambapo shughuli nzima ya kuwachunguza makamishna wa IEBC inaendelea. Nimekuwa wako Andrina Kilemi, tupatane tena mwendo wa saa 7 kamili kwa taarifa zaidi. Kwa heri kwa sasa.
I am here having worked with the chairman for 6 years, and I am best placed to judge the chairman more than anyone else. And I do believe the chair had been inclusive and consultative in his decision-making process.
That's your position again. Let's go to that. What the Supreme Court said about that. Supreme Court, again, in this judgment, they read your affidavit. They read the affidavit of every commissioner. And the Supreme Court was basically saying, those are boardroom wars. They didn't care about your fights. The 3 commissioners, they said you're always together, the 3 commissioners and the 4 commissioners. And the Supreme Court was dismissive of your fights. But here you want to convince us that the fight was so big, it was a crisis. Supreme Court saw through the affidavit, and they didn't say it's a big issue. They saw it was boardroom war. But you're telling us, yes, are you trying to revise the Supreme Court judgment, Guliye?
I'm not in any way revising any judgment, whether it is Supreme Court or any other court of law. All that I'm saying is we did not have fights.
You're the team leader in charge of this entire, exclusive. The results were brought at 4:20. And here you are excitedly telling us that they wanted to moderate results. What results were they trying to moderate when there are no results? How do you moderate nothing?
What I told you and what I'm saying is that the 4 commissioners agreed with individuals who came with intentions for us to vary the results. And by agreeing with them, they probably knew what we didn't know in terms of results.
Professor, you know, it's all like you're a teacher at the university. So I want a logical explanation as to how do you moderate that which you don't know?
We learned the results when it was brought to the boardroom.
Exactly, and we're agreeing on that.
And before that, there were people who seemed to have known what the results were, who wanted us to think in a certain direction. And by the 4 commissioners agreeing with their thoughts, they must have known something we didn't know. I hope I'm clear.
In the fullness of time, we'll know the truth. Well, I'm asking, until now, for the record again, and the author, as a team leader, have you published the results online, Form 34C in entirety, 500 pages, until now?
The results have been published, and the physical copy that was signed by agents were also scanned and uploaded into the portal.
The Chairman, I can record that until now, the results have never been published. Until now. Let them.
That's your view, not
my information. My instruction from my client are that the results until now have never been published. 34C.
That's a statement you're making.
Instruction from my client, which I'm okay. Let me put it. Let me whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Professor Guliye, my client instructs me that until now, the results have never been published. Are you of the contrary view?
The results have been published in the portal.
I'm saying results.
That's the fact, if you want to know the facts.
When I say the results, Professor, I mean results pursuant to the prescribed format 34C. Again, I'm asking again, have they been published until now?
The results 34C have been published, and it has been printed from the portal, and once the agent signed, they have been scanned and the scanned version uploaded into the system.
When you and the chairman walked out of the boardroom at 4:20, 5 o'clock, I don't know, of 15th of August, had we received the final results of the 27 constituencies? Had we received them?
Yes, we did.
Had they been announced?
I was to announce before the fracas.
Okay, so, but I'm saying, so they're not been announced?
The results have been received, the results have been tallied, and they were part of the final results. It was only to make it public, but it was already tallied into the Form C.
Under the Constitution, Professor, is there anything wrong with having a dissenting opinion, with disagreeing?
For as long as the dissenting opinion does not offend the law.
That's a contradiction. Have you read the Bill of Rights about having a...
You asked me a question, I answered you.
Have you read the Bill of Rights, which gives everyone the right to have their own opinion on anything, on politics?
I didn't read, and I don't need to read now.
We don't need to read, because we need to...
No, you can read for me since you're a lawyer.
We'll read, just give me the Constitution. Just read Article 32 and 33.
Article 33, freedom...
32 first, and then we
32. Freedom of conscience, religion, belief, and opinion. Every person has the right to freedom of conscience, religion, though belief and opinion.
Okay, just under Article 33.
Freedom of expression. Every person has the right to freedom of expression, which includes freedom to seek, receive, or impart information or ideas, freedom of artistic creativity.
Okay, it's fine. So Article 32 and 33 basically give us freedoms of expression, of opinion, and all those are freedoms. When the commission has told Chebukati that they don't agree, I mean, like basically they're not agreeing with the 3-page results because they need time to go through the 400-page. How can that be a violation of the law? I need to understand.
The commissioners didn't land from the moon.
Yeah.
They were part and parcel of the verification for 6 days. They were involved in the process. They had been announcing constituency results faithfully for 6 days. And therefore, for them to come and say these results are not authentic, I think there's something wrong there.
Guliye, paragraph 32, you told us Mr. Marjan walked into the room with the results, paragraph 32, which is about like 4 o'clock or 4:20, or I don't know, about 4, between 4 and 4:20, with 500 pages, 1 copy of 500 pages, and 7 copies of 3-page document. Here, of course, you are misleading us by saying that we gave each one a copy of the results, but the actual results given as a 3-page document which you confirmed. But the 500 pages he has never given.
I'm sorry,
anyone.
I'm not misleading anybody.
Yeah, okay, fine. Well, that's what you told us, we were given results. So, I still want to understand that you want commissioners who've just been given a 3-page document to confirm the contents of a 500-page document with no opportunity to do that. They don't have copies. You told us it was not possible to make copies. They don't have a copies. They have never gotten copies until now. My client tells me she's never gotten a copy until now. She's never gotten Form 34C in complete format. And you think it is wrong to actually tell the chairman you can't support such results until you've gone through the report? Is it illogical to refuse to accept results when you don't have the 500-page document?
The document that was brought is a summary by county, and it also gives the collected results of each candidate and the rejected votes.
Maybe let's go to the beginning.
The results, the whole document, which a copy was available, had the entire results. If anybody wanted, they would have used the hard copy that was available to verify any particular polling station or county they wanted.
Professor, are you supporting the removal of Commissioner Masit?
Why would I?
No, as a witness here.
No, why would I? I was just told to come and give a version of what happened.
Have you read the petitions filed by the 4 petitioners that led to this tribunal?
No, I haven't read.
Do you know them personally? Do you know Dennis Ndubi personally? Have you met him?
No.
Joffrey Langat?
No.
Steve Jerry?
No, I don't know them.
Zagaria Matayo?
Don't know.
So you know that the petition?
I don't know them, and I don't know their petition.
Okay, let me just tell you a summary. You know, they're saying that Commissioner Irene Masit be removed for gross violation of the Constitution. Gross violation of the Constitution. That's what they're saying. And of course, there's a legal meaning of the gross violation. And my issue is that you told that the results were brought by Marjan at 420, 500 pages and 3-page document. And my client refused to, your own words, basically did not support the chairman's invitation that they go announce the results immediately. Will such refusal, because you don't have an opportunity to go through the 500-page report, be a gross violation of the Constitution?
That's a matter for this tribunal to determine, not me.
Now, you've been telling us about the understanding of the law, Professor. I want to understand. Peter led you through and you gave conclusions of the law. I thought you were a professor of the law when you reached conclusions of the law. So now you're saying you don't know about it.
I'm only here to give facts as they happened.
You reached conclusions
at the boardroom and at the tally center.
You told us after the results were announced on 15, you went into hiding.
Correct.
Can you tell us where you were hiding, if you don't have a problem?
Mr. Chair, I think I'll have a problem with that kind of a question, especially knowing the risk they have gone through and the disclosure of where he's hiding, and we don't know what will come after this. I don't have a problem for such a question.
Chairman doesn't even know the entire case is that my clients were in Jaya.
Your question was, do you want to disclose where you are hiding if you don't have a problem with it?
That is it.
If you don't have a problem,
yes.
that was your question.
Yes, correct, Chairman.
Yes.
I'm not forcing him.
Yes.
I'm not forcing him to disclose.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. I don't know why Peter jumped into whatever. I told him if he doesn't have a problem, he tells us where he was hiding. Can you tell us where you were hiding, Professor?
I can't tell you that.
And I support you, by the way. You just correct position. So the same time you went to hide, my clients also went to hide at Yaya Center, purportedly. But the whole world has been told where they were hiding. Can you see the contradiction in these proceedings? You'll never tell us where you hid, but they've told the whole world where my client was hiding.
Your client went to a public utility facility.
You never told us
I didn't go to a public place.
That's your word. We don't have CCTVs. They brought CCTVs of my client. We don't have your CCTVs. At the right time, we'll get them.
Okay.
That's fine. That's fine, Professor. So finally, you're not a witness to the petitioners. I mean, they didn't invite you. They're not the ones who invited you.
I was invited by the tribunal.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, that's all for now.
Thank you. Re-examination?
Yes, very few questions. Professor, you are taken through Form 34C. I need you to confirm whether it was published, and if it was it ever signed or uploaded in the system? Clarify that issue.
The Form 34C is an auto-generated form. The system generates the form as the verification happens on the floor. Each of the arrows, as I said earlier, comes with the Form S of all the polling stations in their respective constituencies. And alongside that, they come with a summary, which is Form B of the constituency. When they come with these two documents, they are photocopied immediately they arrive, and a bundle is given to each agent. And in the process, they now go into verifying each polling station by polling station. And once they are doing that, they do it on the system. And once a tick or a click has been done of OK of a polling station result, it is deposited straight into the Form C, and this is auto done. And therefore, by the time you tick the last polling station out of the 46,299 polling stations in the country, the form is already complete. So all that is done is to go and print the form from the system. And once the printout is done, the agents have a section to sign. And immediately they signed, for those who agreed to sign, the form was again scanned, and now the scanned version with the signed copies are uploaded.
In this case, was it signed?
Yes, it was signed by the 3 agents out of the 4.
And after that?
Uploaded.
After that?
Scanned and uploaded.
It was uploaded.
Yeah.
Did Commissioner Irene Masit have an issue or a challenge to that within the Commission?
At the time we were having the form being signed, they were in Serena.
They were in Serena.
Yes, she was not there.
She was not there. Yeah. Now, this tallying and verification, you say that the commissioners were involved for 6 days and the like, clarify that process and whether Commissioner Irene Masit was herself involved in those 6 days.
As I mentioned, once the returning officer brings the results, the paper results, and once the verification has been done on the floor of the tally center, the complete constituency result is passed on to the commissioners. After, of course, the chairman has received the Form B, there is a place for him to sign. Then each of the commissioners were given bundles of constituency results to announce. And as far as I am aware, Commissioner Masit was one of the commissioners who did physically on the podium announce constituency results. In fact, I am the only commissioner out of the 7 who did not announce any result. And the reason was,
yes, go on.
I was busy coordinating the floor, and they all agreed that the final batch that was to be announced after the verification process has been completed, that they asked me to do it. And I was to do that announcement before the chair announces the final results.
Before the summary of results appeared, did Commissioner Masit have any problem?
No, I don't recall any incidents or any complaint about the verification process, the entire verification process for the 5 days we were at the Bomas Tally Center floor.
Last issue, paragraph 32, you've been taken through the issue of the summary. The summary, you remember that 3-page? Was given to everyone?
Everybody.
Every commissioner?
Everybody. And there was a hard copy available in case anybody wished to verify anything.
Now, before you, after dealing with the issue of the request for moderation, which you say was supported by people, did Commissioner Irene Masit request to verify anything from the hard copy which was with the chair?
Not that I recall.
She did not?
No.
And so that no one asked, let me see the big copy, let me verify anything.
Nobody asked. They all concentrated on the final tally for each of the candidates.
The final tally, which they participated.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Chair and members, that will be all, unless the members or chair have any questions.
And yours?
Yes, please proceed.
How are you, Commissioner?
Good, thanks.
There is this feeling about the printing of the final result that was done by Marjan. Can you be very clear to us? Where is this done? Is it done in the open? Is there a specific room where the CEO goes and prints this result so that we know? Or is it done in the open?
Now, the printing, as I told you, I don't know if you know the landscape of Bomas. When you go in, there is the CEO's, the building that houses the CEO, and there are also some theaters at the bottom, which you are using as call center. Now, the CEO was given an office there. Our CEO was given an office by the CEO of Bomas. And this was where he was using as the operational base to coordinate activities. But the tally center, it was about a couple of meters down the road in another building. So at around 2 o'clock thereabout, we walked, after having verified and entered the last result into the system, we walked from the tally center building back to the boardroom where we were to meet. Now, the building that houses that boardroom is where the office of the CEO is also housed. So we had asked him, as we are meeting the NSAC people, can you go and print the final results, and then you can bring it to the boardroom. So the place where he was building is an office not far from the boardroom.
That was the CEO's office.
At the CEO's office, but he was not alone. I think I remember Director Legal was with him, and there must have been other staff as well.
Then another issue that we need to get an answer to. When all these processes is ongoing, are commissioners able to follow the result, or is it something that comes to you by surprise? I'm asking this for the reason that you say their elders came. And as the elders came, you say you didn't know the result. Initially, we used to have what we call provisional result. So even as this meeting was going on, provisionally was any commissioner or anybody else able to know that this is how the result is going, or all the commissioners were in the dark, so they are making arguments in the dark?
We could only know tallies of constituencies, but we could not know the overall tally. As I told you, the system was such that once you click a polling station results, it collects automatically. And so the only final tally will be produced once the final collation was done. And there was no provision for intermediate, a preliminary, or in between printing of results.
Less than 27 constituencies, so this system would be able to show you the result. Less than 27, or maybe when you are remaining with 5 constituencies, you can still, if you have access to that system, be able to know that this is where
no one was stopped from going to the tally place to check with our officers who are working there.
Now let's come to the meeting after the persons you refer to, the elders, have left. I want you to clear the air. Marijan comes with the result. The commissioners are given copies according to you. Did any of the commissioners say this is not the result? Did any of the commissioners at that sitting say these are the figures, this is not the result?
All they said once they saw the final tally was to say this is not acceptable. Nobody said this is not the result.
So can I take it from there that all commissioners accepted the result?
It would appear to me, because the issue of moderation would not have arose if that was contrary, if there was any contrary opinion.
Question number 2, did any of the commissioners say, I need time? Listen to me very well. Did any of the commissioners say, Mr. Chairman or fellow commissioners, I need time to go through this result so that then a decision could be made whether it was necessary to give them time or not to give them time?
I don't recall anybody asking for time. The only place where time was sought was when we were asking agents to come and sign the result. And it's one of the agents who said he wants time, but not the commissioner.
Finally, you have been a commissioner with IEBC.
Yes.
And you know the system. Assuming for a minute that the commissioners agreed with the elders to change the result, how could this be done?
I don't know.
Was this information already in the public portal?
We deliberately, as required by law, set up a public portal where the entire results were actually deposited. And for 6 days, we've had the portal being accessed over 38 million times. I think 38 or 380 million times, 380 million times or thereabout.
If I follow the evidence well,
and if it was accessible publicly, there were many entities that had access to the results and could do their own tally. Meaning, therefore, anything short of the correct result IEBC announcing would have been instantaneously challenged with figures and facts.
And if I follow your evidence very well, is that then to achieve this tampering with about 233,000 votes required that you change the result at the polling station. That is from 34A. The only way you are going to achieve a change in 34C is first you have to interfere with 34A.
The suggestion was to move the 233, 211 to rejected votes at the C level.
Which means you have to distribute them.
Well, I have no recollection. I have no recollection of how they envisaged it will be done. I don't know how they were proposing, but the suggestion was move these results this candidate has won with to rejected votes, so that there can be a parity, which would mean a runoff.
Thank you very much.
Maybe just a clarification. When you had a meeting with the National Security Advisory Council, led by Mr. Kennedy Kihara, did you feel threatened in any way for their proposal to moderate the results?
Of course, the tone of the message was threatening, because when we were told there are already skirmishes, the fights have begun, if you announce whoever you want to announce or whom we think you are announcing, there will be a bloodbath and the blood of those Kenyans will be on your hands. I mean, it was really obvious that we are being forced to think in a particular direction.
So then, arising from that kind of feeling, was your decision to uphold the fidelity to the Constitution personal, or was it, in any way driven by that threat?
I swore to uphold the Constitution and all the laws of the country. And I swore to God to do that. And my conviction was, I live by my oath of office. And if the process that we all oversaw for the 6 days resulted in a particular result, I was ready to live with that result and defend it.
Thank you.
Prof, mine is clarification on the letter at page 25 that my learned colleague took you through. This for purposes of consumption by this tribunal. Your specific role that is at paragraph 3 was, if I can read, consequently, you're hereby appointed to manage the presidential election results path. I didn't hear you talk about the path when you were being cross-examined, but could you just tell us what this presidential election results path entails?
Thank you. The result path is what we had published publicly in a Gazette notice number 9540 of 8th of August 2022. And it elaborates the results path at the various levels, starting with the polling station and movements of the results from the polling station to the constituency tally center, and from the constituency tally center to the national tally center, and the movement of results, electronic results from the polling station to the national tally center. So it is as per that Gazette notice.
Thank you. Then on that letter again, and the reason I'm asking is because it was not clear whether you and the CEO were the only two people in charge of the tally. The subsequent paragraph gives broad terms of reference of the team. Could you just confirm that what those terms of reference were, and whether they were applicable only to you and the CEO? And maybe for disclosure, you could tell us who these team members are.
The team members, we can avail the letter. I've left the commission. I think the CEO can provide the actual letter that is nominating the team members. And there are two teams, one led by Obadiah Keitani, who is the Deputy Commission Secretary, and another team that was led by Dr. Halim Mutisia who is also another team leading another group. So it was the combination of these teams that were managing the floor actually. And so ours was mainly to provide that supervision. If there are any challenges, they will bring it to us. And the role that we were playing by being managers is not to make instantaneous decisions on our own, but to take those challenges back to our colleagues, and we were often making quick decisions together in our holding room. And so the challenges that were emanating from the floor was being challenged through me or Marjan as the overseers, but we were now caucusing in our holding room, all of us as commissioners, and to deliberate on how to deal with those challenges. So yes, whereas I was at the front face of the tally center floor verification process, but actual decision making was collectively taken in our holding room with all our colleagues.
Thank you, Prof.
Hello, Prof. I would like to know when the 4 commissioners came in September 2021, or any commissioner who comes on board IEBC, is there kind of an induction of their duties?
Thank you. We have a practice in the commission. Whenever there are new commissioners, there is an elaborate induction program. We went through it in 2017, January, when we reported, and we did the same for our colleagues when they joined us. In fact, we held a specific course which is offered by International Foundation for Electoral System, IFES, and that program is what we all went through together with the new commissioners. And this involved bringing in experts all the way from the US who were with us for an induction program that took us a couple of days. And so after going through that induction program, we also gave them as much information as was necessary in terms of the operations of the commission. We also allowed directors to come and make presentations on the operations of their various directorates. So this was an elaborate induction program which we gave our colleagues.
So each of the commissioners knew their duties?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. The chairman and 2 of you had been working for some time before the new commissioners came in.
Correct.
Now, when they came in, how did you integrate them to be a team as a whole? Part of it is the induction part of it. How are they feeling? Or how was the feeling of the whole commission?
We welcomed them into the commission, and they were bona fide commissioners like any of us. We didn't hold back any information from them. And when the chair reconstituted committees, he made sure that none of the old commissioners were together in a committee. And so we were distributed among the committees. And that also enabled them to have further insights into the commission operations, because I was chairing election operations, but I was also sitting in the committee of ICT, and I was equally sitting in the committee of finance and procurement. So we had a harmonious, working relationship as far as I'm concerned.
So the 11 months or so, from September to August, the plenary, when you had a plenary, all the discussions for the 11 months or so, you said that it is the discussions were harmonious.
The discussions were civil, I could put it that way, because when you are in a board, you may not have the same idea on issues. And some ideas may be conflicting, but ultimately we make express our ideas in a free manner, and eventually the chair, guides on conclusion of those discussions. So, in my opinion, we have had boardroom discussions that was civil.
Okay, in your civil discussion, just for clarity purposes, was there some sort of groupings that these are 3 and these are 4?
I don't.
University takes pride in being an academic giant with some of the best infrastructure.
Yeah, like you see, these are the fabrics we use for the sofas. Yeah, there are different types of fabrics. Sabak.
It is the best way to go. Eat color, eat raw, like this is alive.
Well, 2022 is behind us. 2023 is here with us. What are your plans? We here at TV47's Morning Cafe have great plans for you. We're talking about information, we're talking about entertainment, we're talking about the greatness for the year. So make sure that you're always with us every morning.
Kwa muonekano wao hauwezi ukajua waliopitia. Kwa sura zao zinapong'aa hauwezi ukafahamu changamoto zao. Nyuma yao ipo story na historia. Katika kipindi Ufahamu Kiongozi tunakupa nafasi kuweza kuwafahamu kila siku ya Alhamisi kuanzia saa 1:30 kuendelea. Nami Elizabeth Mutu.
Your health matters, and Body Garage is here to guide you on it.
Someone's after using the medication, the virus number of the HIV in someone's body will start to go.
My medication, wherever I go, I must make sure I'm committed to my medication. Yes, and I should watch what I'm eating. I should not just eat from everywhere or not just eat anything.
We talk mental, physical, and spiritual health. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Lover of farming? Well, Kilimo Diaries is your home for different farming ventures, crops, animals, and so much more. Every Sunday, with a new year comes endless possibilities, and as we continue to tell the stories of those abled differently, of untold stories.
Barabara mtazamaji, unazidi kutazama runinga ya TV47 na awali kikao kimeendelea kutoka kwenye kituo cha kubuni mitaala hapa nchini KICD, ambapo jopo lililobuniwa na Rais William Ruto kuwachunguza makamishna wa IEBC imekuwa ikiendelea, ambapo makamishna hao wanatarajiwa kufika pale mmoja baada ya mwingine ili tu kutoa ushahidi wao kuhusiana na chaguzi za Agosti 9 ambazo zimekuwa zikizua hisia mseto. Tumemsikia pale Kamishna Guliye akizungumza, vilevile akizungumza mbele ya mahakama hiyo au kipenda jopo hilo ambalo linaongozwa naye Jaji Agre Mchelule, na ni swala ambalo mtazamaji tunazidi kulifu kufuatilia tena kwa ukaribu zaidi matukio hayo, na matokeo mtazamaji utakuwa unayapokea kadri yatakavyokuwa yanatukia. Lakini kwa sasa ni kukaribishe kwenye taarifa zetu. Mimi ni wako Andrin Kilemi, tuandamane sote hadi tamati. Na Rais William Ruto mapema leo amekutana na viongozi wa chama cha Jubilee katika ikulu ya rais kwenye mkutano wa faragha. Mkutano huo uliandaliwa au kitakachojadiliwa katika mkutano huo bado hakijabainika. Mjumbe wa bunge la Afrika Mashariki Kanini Kega na aliyekuwa mwakilishi wa kina mama kaunti ya Murang'a Sabina Chege walikuwepo kwenye mkutano huo. Katibu mkuu wa chama cha Jubilee Jeremiah Kioni hata hivyo hakuwa kwenye mkutano wenyewe. Mkutano huo unakuja wakati ambapo kinara wa Azimio One Kenya Raila Odinga anatarajiwa kufanya mkutano katika uwanja wa Kamukunji baadaye leo.
Habari mwenje, habari ya Mbagazi West. How are you, Modano? Very good. Lama namna gani? Habari ya Bahati? Very good. Very good. I did. Maito? How are you?
Na mahakama imekubali ombi la mkurugenzi wa mashtaka ya umma Nurdin Haji ya kufutilia mbali kesi ya ufisadi ya shilingi bilioni 1.1 dhidi ya afisa mtendaji wa zamani wa bima ya kitaifa NHIF Geoffrey Mwangi. Kulingana na Jaji Victor Wakumile, mahakama imeitikia wito huo baada ya upande wa mashtaka kukosa ushahidi wa kutosha. Wakumile vilevile amempa Nurdin siku 15 kuhakiki mashtaka dhidi ya afisa mtendaji wa kampuni ya WebTribe pamoja na washtakiwa wengine 15 waliohusishwa katika kesi hiyo.
The application was roundly supported by all other councils, but they expressed the need to have the same. Now, I've considered the application, and under Article 157(6), the DPP has powers to institute and undertake criminal proceedings against any person before any court of law. He also has powers to terminate the charges at any point in time for reasons that he may deem fit. The power to discontinue a matter, again, is donated under Article 157(6)(c) of the Constitution, and it's subject to permission of the court under Article 157(11). Those powers are to be exercised with regard to public interest and the interest of administration of justice, more particularly the need to prevent and avoid abuse of legal process.
Na baraza la soko ya mifugo nchini limeitaka serikali kupeleka maafisa wa usalama wa kutosha katika kaunti zinazokabiliwa na janga la wizi wa ng'ombe na hata kupelekea kuuawa kwa raia, kufuatilia makabiliano yanayoshuhudiwa kila wakati kunapotokea jinamizi la aina hiyo. Aidha, baraza hilo litazitaka jamii za wafugaji kutafuta mbinu mbadala za kusuluhisha mfarakano baina yao na majirani yao ili kumaliza migogoro ambayo kwa muda mrefu sasa imekuwa ikifikia jamii hizo. Akihutubia wanahabari mjini Garissa, mwenyekiti wa KLMC Dubat Ami amebainisha kuwa ingawa serikali ya kitaifa imeahidi kushughulikia swala hilo, kuna haja ya jamii zinazohusika kukomesha mashambulizi.
Kuna vigenge, kuna vikundi, kuna watu ambaye wana finance hiyo. Tunataka serikali ijue hiyo. Ya pili, kwa sababu hii kitu ilikuwa zamani hapo, watu wengine wamepanua na kufanya biashara. Sisi tunaweza kusuluhisha hii shida tukitumia mbinu tatu. Tunataka waziri atuhusishe, tumwambie yeye mambo vile iko. Sisi tuna habari ambaye tunaweza kusaidia serikali kumaliza shida ya cattle rustling and the killing of our people. Tunapongeza serikali kwa kujitokeza na kuonyesha ya kuwa inataka kumaliza mzozo baina ya jamii na mambo ya jamii kuibiana ng'ombe na ngamia. Kuna program inaitwa traceability. Mnyama anawekwa kitu ndani ya mwili yake. Inasema inatoka sehemu gani, ikipelekwa kwa market inaweza kuwa trace.
Na kaunti za Garissa, Turkana na Tana River zitapokea takriban vijisanduku 5,000 vya chakula chenye dawa katika azma ya serikali ya kupunguza ukosefu wa lishe bora kati ya watoto wakati wa kiangazi. Akizungumza katika hafla ya uzinduzi wa vyakula hivyo, katibu katika Wizara ya Afya Daktari Josephine Mboro amesema kuwa idadi ya watoto walioathirika na ukosefu wa lishe bora ilikuwa imeanza kupungua, ila hali ya ukame imefanya hali hiyo kuwa mbaya zaidi. Kulingana na utafiti wa afya uliozinduliwa wiki jana, jumla ya watoto milioni 1.3 walio chini ya miaka 5 wameathirika na ukosefu wa lishe bora.
Let's applaud him. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Over the past decade, Kenya has made significant progress in reducing the prevalence of malnutrition among children under 5 years of age. In the recently released Kenya Demographic Survey, it has shown that the stunned children reduced from 26% in 2014 to 18% in 2022. In terms of absolute number, nearly 1.13 million children under 5 were stunned, 315 were wasted, 1,000, and 630,132 were underweight.
The resources given here, which is 5,000 cartons of ready-to-use therapeutic food, will be of great help to 10,000 children who are adversely affected by severe malnutrition in Turkana, Samburu, and in Isiolo. This food, which is worth 26 million Kenyan shillings, is enough to treat severe acute malnutrition for a period of 2 months.
Mtazamaji, nitakomea hapo kwa sasa. Taarifa zaidi ni mwendo wa saa 10, saa 1 na saa 3 mtawalia.